Mr. Chandrajit Banerjee, Director General CII. We have Mr. Chandrajit Banerjee, the Director General of CII, joining us right now. Inviting Mr. Sameer Gupta, the Chairman and Managing Director of Jackson Group. Mrs. Ritu Maheshwari, CEO, Noida. She's there in the audience. And Shri Abhishek Prakash is going to be joining us shortly, the CEO, Invest UP. We have our Shri Manoj Kumar Singh Ji, the Agriculture Production Commissioner, Government of Uttar Pradesh, present with us on the desk. And joining us is Shri Durga Shankar Mishra Ji, Chief Secretary, Government of Uttar Pradesh. Shortly also going to be joined by Mr. Amitabh Kant, the India G20 Sherpa. He's going to be joining us shortly. We have Mrs. Ritu Maheshwari, the CEO, Noida, with us here on the desk. और देवी सज्जनों, स्वागत करते हैं मंच पर श्री नंद गोपाल गुप्ता जी का, जिन्हें लोकप्रिय रूप से नंदी के नाम से वो जाने जाते हैं, हमारे माननीय उद्योग मंत्री। And Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, very good greetings to all of you of the day and of this special event. उत्तर प्रदेश सरकार की तरफ से मैं आप सभी का हार्दिक स्वागत करती हूं हमारे दूसरे घरेलू रोड शो में ऑन द इन्वेस्टमेंट अपॉर्चुनिटीज़ इन द स्टेट ऑफ उत्तर प्रदेश में। देवी सज्जनों, जैसा कि आप जानते हैं कि यूपी GIS 2023 अगले माह की 10 से 12 फरवरी में आयोजित होने जा रहा है और उसकी तरफ आज का हमारा ये विशेष इवेंट, हमारा रोड शो, हमारी कोशिश है कि हम आप सभी को ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा जानकारी दे सकें और इसके लिए हमारे साथ यूपी सरकार के वरिष्ठ मंत्रीगण, अधिकारीगण मंचासीन हैं। हमारी कोशिश रहेगी कि हम आपको अवगत करा सकें यूपी सरकार द्वारा जो उत्तर प्रदेश को एक औद्योगिक केंद्र के रूप में विकसित करने और साथ साथ एक प्रेफर्ड निवेश गंतव्य के रूप में तैयार करने की तरफ जो यूपी सरकार के प्रयास हैं, जो नीतियां हैं, जो प्रोसेसेस हैं, पॉलिसीज़ हैं, उनके बारे में हम आपको जानकारी दें, जिससे आप अपना इन्फॉर्म्ड डिसीजन ले सकें अपने इन्वेस्टमेंट की तरफ। एंड दैट, लेडीज़ एंड जेंटलमैन, इज़ गोइंग टू बी अ वेरी वैल्यूएबल कंट्रीब्यूशन टुवर्ड्स making UP a $1 trillion economy, making UP a leading contributor towards India's $5 trillion economy and being the new India's growth engine. This, ladies and gentlemen, is the vision, the promise, the ambition of the Honorable Chief Minister, and it is in line with our Honorable Prime Minister's vision for shaping a more inclusive and equitable growth India, an Atmanirbhar India, an India which is skilled, empowered and efficient and can be the global powerhouse of the world, working in the true spirit of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam and working towards a global good and welfare for all. और यही मंशा के साथ, सोच के साथ, नीति के साथ निर्णय के साथ हम उत्तर प्रदेश ग्लोबल इन्वेस्टर्स समिट 2023 आयोजित करने जा रहे हैं 10 से 12 फरवरी में। आपको थोड़ा सा ग्लोबल रोड शोज़ के बारे में भी बताना चाहेंगे। हमने अपना कर्टन रेजर इवेंट शुरू किया था दिल्ली से। उसके बाद राज्य सरकार द्वारा विश्व के 16 देशों के 23 शहरों में ग्लोबल रोड शोज़ आयोजित किए गए और सभी बहुत सक्सेसफुल रहे। इनके सक्सेस का अनुमान आप इसी बात से लगा सकते हैं कि इस दरमियान हमें 7.12 लाख करोड़ प्रस्तावित निवेश की स्वीकृति मिली। उसके बाद हमारे डोमेस्टिक रोड शोज़ हमने आरंभ किया। सबसे पहला डोमेस्टिक रोड शो शुरू किया हमने देश की वित्तीय राजधानी मुंबई से। वहाँ पर भी बहुत अच्छा रिस्पांस मिला। और इसके बाद आज एक बहुत ही पावन दिवस, जब विशेष रूप से उत्तर भारत में हम लोहड़ी का फेस्टिवल मना रहे हैं। आज हम अपना दूसरा घरेलू रोड शो दिल्ली में कर रहे हैं। तो आप सभी का बहुत बहुत एक बार धन्यवाद कि आपने हमारे निमंत्रण को स्वीकार किया और हमारे साथ हैं। उत्तर प्रदेश की ग्रोथ पोटेंशियल अपॉर्चुनिटीज़ को खुद विटनेस करने के लिए और सुनने के लिए हमारे माननीय मंत्रीगण और उच्च अधिकारीगण द्वारा। अब मैं आमंत्रित करना चाहूँगी हमारे माननीय शहरी विकास एवं ऊर्जा मंत्री श्री A.K. शर्मा जी को। मैं आमंत्रित करती हूँ उन्हें उनके ओपनिंग रिमार्क्स के लिए।
Wish you all a very happy new year. And India is also celebrating a very important festival called Lohri, Makar Sankranti, Uttarayan. So I wish a very happy Makar Sankranti also to all of you. Excellencies and my senior colleagues in the UP government's ministry, the Honorable Chief Secretary of UP government, Director General of CII, who has cancelled his foreign trip because of this roadshow on my invitation. He was supposed to be in some foreign country today, but he acknowledged our invitation and cancelled his trip. So I welcome him also. I welcome the Excellency Ambassador, whom I met, and he has promised me to be partner in the summit also, and will support us in all possible manners. Many of you know me personally since long, and many of you will know me now while working in UP. So I welcome all of you. I am standing before you in the opening session to say a few things which will perhaps set a tone for the entire summit and the entire discussion also. Friends, I am going to tell you a story which perhaps you will not believe. And many of us in the young generation, they perhaps feel that past is not very important, but past is very important and we must know our past. In the audience, Mr. Hariom Rai of Lava Phones, he is sitting and he has been doing a lot of research in this thing. What was India's past? India's past, my friends, was that before 17th century, for almost 5,000 years, India's GDP used to be around 25 to 30% of global GDP. How much? 25 to 30, more than 1/4 of global GDP used to originate from this soil, from this land. What happened in between 17th, 18th century, you know, foreign invasions, lot of disturbance in Indian administration, and finally the colonization by the British. This all led to decline in the Indian economy. This all not only led to decline in the Indian economy, this actually led to deindustrialization of Indian economy. That is why Gandhi ji and many of our freedom fighters had to talk of Swadeshi, घरेलू उद्योग लगाओ, गांव के इंडस्ट्रीज को बढ़ाओ, so that we don't become an importing nation, we don't remain an importing nation, and that is where Gandhi ji perhaps intervened, and this was the philosophy. So we have gone through a process where our economy has declined from 25 to 30% of global GDP to just 2.5 to 3% at the time of India's independence. And unfortunately, the then government and the governance which took place in the country for many decades, unfortunately did not pay attention in the manner which was required to be paid. Again, you will be knowing that many smaller countries which either got independence at the same time or more or less at the same time, or were much smaller in the size and scale, they also surpassed India in last 50, 60, 70 years. Asian economies of Southeast Asia, how and why should their per capita income be better than ours? India, which used to be 1/4 of the global size of economy. So this happened because we did not pay attention because of the issues of governance. Another fact which I want to tell you is that whenever governance has been right in our country, India's economy, India's society has progressed. You see, this 25-30% of global GDP used to happen or used to be there at the same time when India Magad Empire invented the democracy, when our Aryabhatta and Varamir were born. All this was a composite ecosystem of India, and which unfortunately because of foreign invasions, foreign rule, it all declined. It is now, friends, why I am telling you that it is now that again the old past or the old glory is going to be established under the able guidance and able rule of our Honorable Prime Minister, Mr. Narendra Modi ji. The latest example of that re-establishment of India's past, re-establishment of India's glory, is that we are now going to host G20 summit. Could you ever think of G20 happening in India? Was India ready to host this summit? I have, fortunately, with Honorable Prime Minister, I have been to all the countries who have hosted G20 summit in recent past. No one ever thought also that we will be sometime hosting G20. We are among the fastest growing economies of the world at this moment. We can't overnight become 25% of global GDP now because the GDP size has changed, the whole scenario has changed. From an agrarian economy, now the world is moving towards industrial and IT-based and technology-based economy. So we can't become again 25-30%, but the fact is that under the able guidance, under able leadership of our Honorable Prime Minister, at 7-8% of GDP growth, India is among the fastest growing economies of the world. And you should not be surprised that we have soon become the 5th largest economy. We could become maybe 3rd or 4th economy in very near future. So this is how Honorable Prime Minister is re-establishing India's position in the global economy, and therefore, the point which I wanted to tell you, therefore, those of you, first of all, those of you who are planning to set up your factories outside India, they should stop that, and you should start looking within our own country. This is why I took time to explain the whole cycle. Now, friends, coming to UP, we have come here in Delhi along with a large team of 5 ministers of the UP government, very senior ministers. In fact, every one of them is much senior to me in terms of political career. So all 5 of us have come to welcome you at the gateway of UP. Delhi and NCR happens to be the gateway of UP. In UP, my colleagues will extend a formal welcome to all of you, but we all have come, 5 ministers. There is a tradition in our system whenever marriages take place, whenever some auspicious occasion. So we go on the gate to welcome the guests. So we have come to welcome you at the gateway of UP. And as I said, India is re-establishing its old story. India is on the march of progress. It is India's time. And within India, friends, I have no hesitation in saying that it is UP's time. It is UP's time because the biggest deficit in the country, as I said, why did the governments of last 70 years did not bother about raising the per capita income of its citizens? Why did we not bother? Why did we not worry as to why Singapore, Korea, and Vietnam and Thailand, they are having much more per capita income than India, and now lastly China, which used to be behind us at the time of independence, but has surpassed us like anything. So within India, friends, UP also has witnessed lack of governance or governance deficit for a very long time. Otherwise, Uttar Pradesh, which means northern province, in our mythology, Your Excellency, in our mythology, north is supposed to be the direction of god of wealth. कुबेर की दिशा मानी जाती है ना north तो. So the state which is positioned in the north of India, how can it remain a bimaru state? How can it remain a poor state? It was only and only because of good governance, lack of good governance. It was because of governance deficit that UP has had a bad experience, bad history, bad image, not only in terms of poor economy, but also in terms of poor social setup, poor law and order. Fortunately, after Mr. Modi took over as Prime Minister, and in 2017, Mr. Yogi Adityanath ji took over as Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh, he has set the right direction for governance and government functioning. I have been meeting many of you since last evening. Today morning also I met many of you. Each one of you has been saying, not one has missed this, saying that UP has changed, or UP is changing. And friends, this summit, this roadshow itself is a big example of that change which is happening in UP. In fact, I told my colleagues, I am afraid your hall will become smaller, and actually there are people who are standing outside this hall. So this is not a road show, it has become a flag march, in fact, of UP government. So I welcome you again to UP as well. My colleagues have put up detailed presentations where factual figures, factual statements will be made. I'm not going into that. But the point which I am trying to make, those who are planning, those who have even been thinking to move to Europe, move to Germany, or move to Italy of Your Excellency's country, or to any other location in the world, please rethink that strategy. It is India's time, my friends. Secondly, within India, as I said, UP has come over, UP has bridged the gap of governance deficit under able leadership of our honorable Chief Minister, of which there are many aspects which my colleagues will detail out, and I will again come back to you to talk at the end of the summit. But my point is that listen them carefully, think of your strategies, rethink of your strategies to go outside India, and also consider UP, give importance to UP's good governance which is happening at this moment. I welcome you once again. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Honorable Minister, sir, for your very insightful views and your very motivating address, inviting everyone to invest in Uttar Pradesh, to rethink, because this is a time for India to be in India, to invest in India, and to invest in Uttar Pradesh. Thank you, sir. Just would like to apprise everyone that the session, the forest session is on. I believe many of the speakers of the forest session are here in the audience. You are requested to kindly move to the Nilgiri Hall where the session is on. Thank you. And may I now request and invite our Honorable Minister of Agriculture, my apologies, the Agriculture Production Commissioner and the Additional Chief Secretary, Government of Uttar Pradesh, Shri Manoj Kumar Singh ji, inviting him for his welcome remarks.
नमस्कार। मैं माननीय मुख्यमंत्री जी की तरफ से तथा उत्तर प्रदेश शासन की तरफ से आप सबका इस कार्यक्रम में तहे दिल से स्वागत करता हूं। हम सब लोग यहाँ पर एक ही मकसद से, एक ही ऑब्जेक्टिव से यहाँ इकट्ठा हुए हैं और वो ये है कि आपको कन्विंस करें कि आपके कैपिटल के इन्वेस्टमेंट के लिए, आपके व्यवसाय को नई ऊंचाइयों तक पहुँचने के लिए यूपी इज़ द बेस्ट डेस्टिनेशन। मुझे उम्मीद है हम लोग इसमें सफल होंगे। We are also interested in finding out from you that what are the changes in policies or process you are looking for to streamline the process further. ये हमारा एक ऑब्जेक्टिव रहेगा आज आपके साथ इंटरेक्शन का और बातचीत का। बहुत ही मजबूत कानून व्यवस्था, बेहतर ट्रांसपोर्ट इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर, large pool of trained manpower and huge domestic market. They are the main attractions of UP for any becoming the best investment destination. UP is also a powerhouse of agriculture and horticulture. Not many people know that UP has 10% of the agricultural land area of the country, but it produces around 18% of the food grain. Almost 60 million tons of food grain is produced in UP and 40 million tons of vegetables and fruits. So this 100 million tons of agricultural produce, this offers one of the best upward and downside industries prospect. We expect that this abundance of raw material, because food processing is basically a linkage between agriculture and industry, this offers an excellent opportunity for investment in Uttar Pradesh. मैं इस अवसर पर एक बार फिर आप सबका स्वागत करता हूं और साथ ही 10 फरवरी से लेके 12 फरवरी तक लखनऊ में जो ग्लोबल इन्वेस्टर समिट होने वाला है उसके लिए आमंत्रित भी करता हूं। धन्यवाद, नमस्कार।
Thank you very much, sir. And now would like to invite Shri Durga Shankar Mishra ji, Chief Secretary. Ladies and gentlemen, you're all aware he's already casted very impressive and massive footprints, being in the central government earlier, and now he's taking that same zeal and passion in the government of Uttar Pradesh. I invite him to please address this august gathering.
Honorable Minister of Investment and Industries, Government of Uttar Pradesh, Minister of Urban Development and Energy, Minister of Sugarcane and other allied industries, Minister of Basic Education, Minister of Skills, my colleagues on the dais and the august gathering here, a very, very good morning to all of you. If somebody is here who does not understand Hindi, maybe I will continue speaking in English. Otherwise, normally on all public platforms, and I have been very consistent as Secretary to Government of India, I have always spoken in Hindi. So if somebody doesn't understand Hindi, please raise your hand. Otherwise, I'll switch over to Hindi. So you don't understand Hindi. Okay. Thank you. So thank you, Ambassador. Thank you, Ambassador. So then I will continue in Hindi. So a very, very happy Lodi to all of you. This is a celebration of joy, celebrated in all northern India. A very happy Makar Sankranti to all of you. Rather a set of festivities, the set of festivals which are going to be onset from here onwards. Vasant Panchami, Holi, the festival of colors, all of them are going to come. And in between, our own festival, the big festival, that is the Global Investor Summit is going to come on 10th to 12th of February. We are here in presence of 5 ministers of the state government of Uttar Pradesh. You can realize how important this meet is. And with the kind of attendance I'm seeing here, and not only this hall is full, but there's another hall next door where we are discussing on the purely on the forest and the I mean, the timber-based industries, the huge hall is again full. That shows the kind of interest the investors are having in Uttar Pradesh. This is the level of confidence which has grown in what our Honorable Minister of Energy and Urban Development was mentioning under the leadership of Honorable Prime Minister Sri Modi. The Amrut Kal, the change of the country into an developed country by 2047, that's his commitment. And having worked under him, worked as a part of his team, I know that Prime Minister Modi, it's Sankalp Se Siddhi. Whatever he says, he always makes it happen, and happen much before when anybody could think of. In fact, when say Modi hai to mumkin hai, that is the kind of thing, the confidence this country has seen, that whatever he has said, whether it was providing housing for all, which was looking impossible. I mean, as Urban Secretary, Government of India, it looked very impossible. Now it is all possible. Whether it was electricity for all, whether it is health for all these things which look so impossible, they are being possible. And so is the leadership of Honorable Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh, who has completely turned around, transformed the image of Uttar Pradesh in the last nearly 6 years. The state which has lost all kinds of investment. I mean, the last I remember, I mean, being part of the civil services and having spent 4 decades in Uttar Pradesh, out of which nearly 2 decades in Uttar Pradesh, another 2 decades in Government of India or outside. I have seen, I mean, we almost kind of lost that battle after 90s. There was no investment coming in. But in the last 5 years, just to share you the numbers, in the last 5 years, with the kind of transformation which our Honorable Chief Minister has brought, investment to the tune of nearly 4 lakhs crores has come in Uttar Pradesh. Many of them are already fructified. They are all businesses which are operating. And many others are on the way. Something which you couldn't have imagined, now they are all on the way. Let me, before I move forward, let me welcome our, where is Amitabh Khan Sahab? Somebody give me this. Oh, namaskar, sir. Sir, I was looking in the middle, sir. So sorry. So let me welcome our senior colleague, Amitabh Khan Sahab, who is not only known here, but known world over for his contribution as the CEO of the NITI, and now he is the Sherpa of the G20, which was mentioned by our Minister for Energy and Urban Development. So a very strong welcome to Amitabh Khan Sahab on this forum. So the kind of transformation which Uttar Pradesh has seen, and why it has been like that, why the confidence of the investors, the entrepreneurs in Uttar Pradesh, who have come out with something like the data center, unimaginable. I mean, the first data center north of Vindhyas comes in Uttar Pradesh and was inaugurated by Honorable Chief Minister only 2 months back. The whole, I mean, the defense corridor through the challenge process, the 2 defense corridor, one in the south, in the Tamil Nadu, the second in the north, with the 6 centers starting from Agra, Aligarh, Kanpur, Lucknow, Chitrakoot, Jhansi. I mean, why it has come in Uttar Pradesh? Why that kind of confidence? It is the governance which has made all that big difference. Why so many other industries? The Samsung, which is now producing 55% of the requirement in my state. We are proud to have the Samsung here. We are providing so much of mobile industry. Nearly 75% of the display unit being manufactured in Uttar Pradesh. We are manufacturing so many things which was unimaginable few years back. It's all the positive vibrations of the Honorable Prime Minister at the national level and the Honorable Chief Minister at the state level. Now the state, one can be fully confident that you are fully safe and secure in any part of Uttar Pradesh. No, I mean, the various kinds of crimes which were there, they are all wiped off from the geography of Uttar Pradesh. You can, I mean, even in dreaded areas, you can
I mean, now I know when I move there, people say that people used to come taking the train which was coming late in the evening, and they will not dare go to their villages or to their town, small towns. Now they can go even late in the evening to any place. That is the kind of freedom which has been given through a very high order, law and order in Uttar Pradesh. Think of the infrastructure. Uttar Pradesh is leading in the infrastructure in terms of whether it is the road network, whether it is the expressways. I mean, already 6 expressways, something like 1200 kilometers are already in operation. You are connected to, I come from the eastern UP. It used to take nearly 24 hours to reach from Delhi to that place. Now you can take just 10 hours, 10 to 12 hours you can reach to the farthest place in eastern UP. You can take 8 to 9 hours to reach to the Bundelkhand. All these areas which were inaccessible, they are accessible through the expressways. We have got the maximum number of the metros. I mean, I used to be as the urban secretary, they were all under my command, not because it is my state. This state was so forthcoming, coming forward, taking decisions, taking the investments. Now, the RRTS 5 cities have the operational metro operational, and it is already going on in other 2 cities. The first regional rapid transport from Delhi to Meerut, which is going to connect Meerut, which is almost 90 kilometers, it will take 55 minutes to reach, just stopping at 15 stations. You can think of it. I mean, the city of Meerut or the cities all from Meerut up to Delhi, they will become like the colonies of Delhi. You are staying there, coming in the morning, going back in the evening. You can enjoy the rural life at the same time, have the best of the capital city of India. The airports, we have got right now 9 airports operational. Out of them, 3 are the international airports. They are connecting to more than 75 destinations in India and outside India. But another 5 airports are coming up. 2 more international airports. Ayodhya, which is going to come up as a beautiful city. The Ayodhya is the next year, after September, you can fly from Delhi and land at Ayodhya. We are going to have the domestic airport. Another 2 years, you can, from any part of the world, you can fly to Ayodhya, the city of Rama. And I mean, it is connected to the whole world. Our Noida, this international airways, whose I'm the chairman, this is again going to be there in, I mean, this is the largest airport in the country. It's going to be a big hub for the cargo by 2024. If you take the water connectivity, the first river water freight connectivity from Varanasi to Haldia. I mean, now UP was one which is a landlocked state, completely landlocked state. We had no way. We had to take the freight by the road network, by the rail network to the sea area. Now we have got this Ganga through the Ganges. There is a freight village in Varanasi. From there you can take it to Haldia, and from Haldia the whole world opens up through the Bay of Bengal. This is happening for the first time. You all understand that. Now this is going to be extended right up to Prayagraj. We are also thinking in terms of taking the river Sarju and connecting the whole eastern and the south and the northeastern Uttar Pradesh. So this is waterways is going to connect this to the rest of the world through the ocean area. The freight corridor. There are 2 national freight corridors, Eastern Freight Corridor. Amitabh Khan Saab used to, I mean, he was the one who started this in the DPIT. This freight corridor, 57% of that Eastern Freight Corridor is in Uttar Pradesh. And it is all moving very fast. If you see the progress, it is all available on the website. It's all moving very fast. The Western Corridor, some 8.5% of that is in Uttar Pradesh. So we are going to be connected from the Eastern Freight Corridor, Western Freight Corridor, and the 2 of the corridors are joining in Uttar Pradesh in Gautam Buddha Nagar. So this is like you take the freight, you take the connectivity to the road, rail network. UP has got one of the largest rail network all through the double line, and now we have got the fast moving lines to the connecting to the different places in Uttar Pradesh. If it comes to ease of doing business, because industry needs ease of doing business, UP tops in the performance of the ease of doing business. It is the number 2 in the export, I mean, facilitation. number 2 in the logistics facilitations, and the various indexes which the government of India publishes. It is all available on the website. You can see that. So UP provides a kind of a good climate for the investment, climate for the enterprise, climate for the business. If it comes to the manpower, you require a manpower. We have got the 2 IITs, IIT Kanpur, IIT BHU in Uttar Pradesh. IIT Roorkee is right next door to our district. So the 3 IITs close by. We have got the Indian Institute of Management at Lucknow. We have got various private and public institutes, the large number of the technical institute, ITIs, the huge network of the ITI, and now Uttar Pradesh has opened up these ITIs. Any business community, you can come and establish your own hub, train the people, train for your industry, train for other industries, and get the manpower which is suited for your requirements. So manpower, we have a large number of the universities, 72 universities of different kinds, and recently some 12 new private universities have been given the letter of intent, and they are going to come up. Another some 6 of them are in the pipeline. The new universities are going to come up in Uttar Pradesh. If it's a matter of policy, how are policies? One, the policy is very consistent. For the last 5 years, as I said, our total investment of 404 lakhs plus crores in the last 5 years. And we have reviewed all the policies in the last 4 months. Every policy, any sectoral policy, including the mother policy of industry and investment, all these policies have been reviewed, and you can see this is all available in our Investment and Industry Development Commissioner is going to speak to you. He is going to make a presentation. It covers the whole gamut of things because UP is not a state. UP is as good if it were a country. It was the 5th largest country on the world map. That's the size of Uttar Pradesh. That is such a huge size. So we look forward to all kinds of industries, whether it is a pharma or electronics or semiconductor or defense aerospace, or it is agro-based industries, it is tourism, EV. Think of an industry, and Uttar Pradesh is fit for that kind of investment. We create an environment. We have got a huge land bank. Not only we have developed these big our expressways, but on the expressways we have created a huge chunk of land which is available right next to the Jewar airport. We have got a huge chunk of land available which can be developed into different industries. We offer electronics industry, semiconductor industry, or various kinds of things which is needed. We provide that kind of environment. Different kinds of the parks. Recently our logistic policy. This is providing the most the progressive kind of facilitation, and if there is any feedback, we are ready to improve it further. The most important, for when you go for investment, if you go for something new, not only what we have, we are eager to make it the best. We want to create an environment. If you meet with our Honorable Chief Minister, I invite you to come and join at our Global Investor Summit from 10th to 12th of February. When you meet our Honorable Chief Minister in that a saintly kind of a garb, you will find the most progressive Chief Minister who is ready to take a decision and take a decision to take Uttar Pradesh, he says, is the growth engine of the country. To make UP the growth engine of country. When the Honorable Prime Minister has taken a commitment to take the country to the $5 trillion economy, he was one of the first Chief Ministers to say UP will go to the $1 trillion economy in the next 5 years. And we have already created the kind of an environment, an ecosystem, wherein through our consultant, throughout the whole, dividing our state into the 10 different sectors, through the sectoral head, very senior officers, we are all moving towards that $1 trillion economy. At some private conversations, some people say, is that possible? Has it happened anywhere? Yes, it has happened in some places in small pockets. But it will happen in Uttar Pradesh because UP has all ingredients. It is sitting at a place, it is rich in the resources, whether it is water, land, fertile land. Our APC just mentioned about the agricultural production. He just mentioned some figures. So UP has all that is available. Just a question of the right kind of people, reaching out to the right kind of industries, and then you will find Uttar Pradesh moving towards the trillion-dollar economy. And it is not only we are into the production and manufacturing, but it's an inclusive development. If you see the indexes, various indexes, you will find that the health indexes, educational indexes, UP is, yes, we were not at a very high place in the country. Yes, we admit, I mean, as I said, in the maybe 3 to 4 decades, there have been some governance deficit. But the way things are moving up, the way things are looking up, all the indices are moving forward. You will find the numbers are moving forward. And all these numbers, I don't have to pick the numbers. You can see all these things are available on the on your website, on the Government of India, various websites. This is all available. So there is a eagerness to move forward, and we invite you. And for that, not only we have created this kind of ecosystem, but also our last investment summit, which was held in 2018, there have been a lot of learning from there. So this time, in 2023, when we go for the Global Investor Summit, right from the beginning, we created a platform through which anybody who wants to have an intent to invest in Uttar Pradesh, you can do it online. And let me share with you, we already have crossed some 12 lakhs crores of the intent for investing in Uttar Pradesh. And I hope this is going to touch maybe 20 lakhs or somewhere close there. So that is the kind of interest which are being shown in Uttar Pradesh, invested in Uttar Pradesh. We had a Nivesh Mitra. Nivesh Mitra is a platform which has been awarded by Government of India for bringing ease in doing business in the industry. It provides some 357 different kinds of points through which different kinds of NOCs, approvals, or various kinds of sanctions, all these things are available online. But we have added another sector to that is called Nivesh Sarthi. Nivesh Mitra is a friendly to make our investment friendly. Nivesh Mitra and Nivesh Sarthi is a driver, and the driver is going to drive that. The moment you file an intent, the team behind this platform, the team behind this platform, which is Invest UP, my friend Abhishek is heading that Invest UP. Can raise your hand, Abhishek? He is heading the Invest UP. So this team, his team, is going to see from behind the scene and make sure that your intent is converted into actual action, into the MOU, final MOU, and it comes on the ground, it sees the final fruition. That's the team which is going to do. And for that, Nivesh Sarthi is going to follow, all that incentive we have been given, we have given through our policies approved by the Uttar Pradesh cabinet, whether you are able to get that policy benefit or not, how to get that policy, they are going to handhold you. And not only that, beyond this, our Honorable Chief Minister has taken a decision that we are going to create a team of officials who will be, they will be the fellows, CM fellows. And these CM fellows are going to be the graduates from IITs, IIMs, NITs, various other private institutions coming from, having the foreign degrees. They are going to be assigned high degree, high value investments in Uttar Pradesh. And they are going to chase, they are going to follow individuals, whether your investment, the intent, converted to MOU, converted into the, ultimately groundbreaking, and then after the groundbreaking, it comes to the final fruition, there is no problem. So we are trying to create a kind of a complete ecosystem environment which will make sure that Uttar Pradesh prospers, Uttar Pradesh, our GDP grows, our per capita GDP goes up, the living standards, ultimately it is all into making the citizens of Uttar Pradesh have a good quality of life, improve their living conditions. So all these things are linked, and with that, just think of it. Once this GDP goes 4 times, some 24 crore in UP population, the amount of purchasing power we are going to have in Uttar Pradesh, the kind of thing which we are going to have in Uttar Pradesh, it is like you are dealing with a country, not dealing with numbers which runs in tens and hundreds, but numbers which runs in hundreds of thousands. That's the kind of demand Uttar Pradesh is going to generate. That is the kind of the new aspiring youth of Uttar Pradesh are going to generate, and that is going to give a energy to your business, your entrepreneurship, your industry, and that is how you grow, UP grows, our citizens grow. And that is how this investment is there. My request to you all is, one, if you have decided you are going to invest into something, please do sign online. Our team is here. They will help you to sign these online. Intent will be signing will be available. You can sign anywhere, 24/7, anywhere, anytime. But do it here right now. Why not? And then please do come for our this investment summit for which is 10th to 12th of February in Lucknow. And three, not everybody, it was not very possible for us to invite everybody here. Maybe we have missed out to somebody. Please do take these words to others. And I would like you to see things online, check for yourself, and मैं कहूँगा कि इसको जो है, pass it on to your other colleagues. You see in our Global Investor Summit, the countries like Netherlands, Denmark, Singapore, Japan, and Mauritius, they are our partners. Many other countries are joining. They have shown interest in joining this. So it's going to be the countries who's who in the industry. They're all going to be there. I invite you all. It's my privilege on behalf of our Honorable Chief Minister to invite you all to be there. And wish you all again a very, very happy New Year, a very happy Lodi, and a very happy Makar Sankranti, and the many other festivals which are going to come in the series. Thank you all. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for giving us very deep insights into the advantage Uttar Pradesh, which the investors can consider while making their investments in the state. And ladies and gentlemen, as you might be aware, and as you know, the Honorable Prime Minister also apprised us that as per the World Bank, India today stands in a better position to combat the global headwinds than any other economy of the world. This is because of our very strong macroeconomic fundamentals. And towards that, ladies and gentlemen, I think that in fact gives a lot of confidence and instills a lot of confidence among the investors, both the global as well as the national investors, the domestic investors, regarding their return on investments. Further, ladies and gentlemen, for greater insights into the advantage India and the many opportunities this land has to offer, I think one of the best person to guide us is our Honorable India G20 Sherpa, Mr. Amitabh Kantji. We all know that he has been at the forefront of transforming India, branding India, startup India, make in India, and I now request him to please guide us and to share his views.
Thank you. Mr. A.K. Sharma, Mr. Lakshmi Narayan Chaudhary, Mr. Nand Gopal Gupta, Mr. Sandeep Singh, Mr. Kapil Agarwal, my colleague, Mr. D.S. Mishra, Chandrajit Banerjee, distinguished guests on the dais, ladies and gentlemen. I'm truly delighted to be here. I'm delighted because during the last 8 years of this government, I worked as the Chief Executive Officer of Niti Aayog. I worked as the Secretary of Department of Industrial Policy and Promotion. And I've been fortunate to work very closely with all the states and union territories of India. And during these years, there is no state of India which has transformed itself on a whole range of areas, from infrastructure, of road, rail, air connectivity, of energy, electricity, water, ease of doing business, of good governance, of bringing in predictability, consistency of policies, and of bringing in a vast range of reforms to ensure that private sector grows. There's no state better than Uttar Pradesh. Ladies and gentlemen, I have worked with every single state and union territory. And if India has shown this growth of growing at 7% as being the fastest growing large economy in the world, as being one state, one country which has demonstrated on ease of doing business, of bringing in predictability and consistency of policies, a lot of reforms has been done by Government of India. But one state which has mashed center step by step in all these areas has been the state of Uttar Pradesh. And therefore, my belief is that in the days to come, Uttar Pradesh will be the key state to drive India's growth and prosperity. That is because if Uttar Pradesh was a country, it would be the 5th largest country in the world by population. The 5th largest country in the world. And therefore, for anybody investing in a state, to my mind, 3 or 4 things are critical. One is there predictability and consistency of policies? Is there ease of doing business? Is there good infrastructure? And fourthly, is there a good domestic market? I think today, Uttar Pradesh is easily the #1 state of India in all these areas. Predictability, consistency, ease of doing business, infrastructure, all these areas. It used to take long hours through bad potholed roads to reach Lucknow from here. The whole highway has been transformed. The number of expressways which have come up in the state. And I think all this has happened because the state has demonstrated the highest level of integrity, which is very critical in growth and development. And it has demonstrated that you can develop with the highest level of honesty and integrity. So in Niti Aayog, we did a vast range of indices from education to health to water to ease of doing business, where we were ranking states. But one state which was the most improved state in all these indices was Uttar Pradesh. One state which was the most improved state in infrastructure was Uttar Pradesh. One state which was the most improved state in terms of initiatives taken was Uttar Pradesh. One state which demonstrated that it can grow at rapid pace was Uttar Pradesh. So ladies and gentlemen, my view is that in the coming years, with a new airport in Jewar, with the dedicated freight corridors, east and west corridors, which will connect the whole of India, but will converge at Dadri in Greater Noida, and with the rapid pace of urbanization which is taking place in Uttar Pradesh, this will become one of the key drivers of India's economy and growth. So if I was an investor, if I was a businessman, I think there's no better place for me than to close my eyes and invest in Uttar Pradesh, simply because this is an area which is driving sunrise areas of growth. It is a driver of energy. It is a driver of mobile telephony. It's a driver of Samsung manufacturing. It's a driver of Dixon. It's a driver of whole range of electronic manufacturing. And it's a driver of now of green hydrogen, defense manufacturing, and all the emerging areas of growth in which India will be a driver of growth for the global economy. So ladies and gentlemen, if India is to grow into a $5 trillion economy, if India is to grow at sustained pace of 9 to 10% per year, year after year, Uttar Pradesh will be the key engine of growth in the years to come. So my compliments to Uttar Pradesh for becoming such an aggressive destination. and I wish it all the best. And we are always with Uttar Pradesh, and I'm sure during the G20, Uttar Pradesh will use this opportunity to get all the investments from all over the world and be the key catalyst of growth of India in the coming years. I wish it all the best and all success. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you very much, sir, for endorsing Uttar Pradesh as the new India's growth engine, and that based on your critical analysis and your research and your study, and I'm sure it instills a lot of confidence once again among the investors. Thank you, sir. And now would like to invite Mr. Chandrajit Banerjee, the Director General of CII. Ladies and gentlemen, would like to apprise you that CII and both CII and FICCI are the industry partners towards the Uttar Pradesh Global Investors Summit 2023. As I invite Mr. Banerjee, would like to also mention that CII is the India Secretariat for B20, and they are directly in connect with the G20. So we really value his views, and I would like to now request him to please address the August gathering. Mr. Chandrajit Banerjee.
Thank you and good afternoon, Shri A.K. Sharma ji, Shri Nandgopal Gupta ji, Shri Lakshmi Narayan Chaudhary ji, Shri Kapil Agarwal ji, Shri Sandeep Singh ji. The Sherpa has just left after his great speech. Shri Durga Shankar Mishra ji, the Chief Secretary, Shri Arvind Kumar ji, Shri Manoj Kumar Singh ji, and many other senior government officials, excellencies, ladies and gentlemen. A very good afternoon, and thank you for really giving us this opportunity from the Indian industry to be a part of a great journey and a great story. I just wanted to go back in time a little bit and talk about Mr. A.K. Sharma, with whom I've had the pleasure and privilege of working for many years, ever since he used to give us the task of the vibrant Gujarat, and then of course in Delhi. But he always used to give me difficult tasks, and he used to tell that, I know the problems are well known, but we need to have the right medicine as to how do we get over the problem. So let's be specific, if you remember that. But sir, I must only like to say, this time you have given a very easy task to us, that is to market and promote Uttar Pradesh. So it's not a very difficult task. You heard the Chief Secretary speaking, yourself speaking, and you see the audience here. This is just a precursor, but what we will get, therefore, on the 10th to the 12th of February is going to be something phenomenal that we will all remember. And I'm sure that we will all work together towards making that into not only a great show, but many more outcomes in terms of investments flowing. As was mentioned, that this is a year of opportunity. This is a year of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, the India at 75, and with the G20 and us working on the B20, we look forward to channelizing good quality, high quality investments into Uttar Pradesh in the next few months to come. And with a lot of work that we have heard that Uttar Pradesh is making, we would not see that to be indeed a difficult task, and that will help us realize the vision of 1 trillion for UP and the 5 trillion for our country. I must also mention that way back in 2017, when I had the honor of calling on the Honorable Chief Minister, and thereafter we took a team of 100 odd senior CEOs across the country into the state in Lucknow to meet with him and the senior members of his cabinet and the officials. Since then, there have been some very good stories which we are capturing, and this we will share it with the government, and some of them will be speaking. Many of them have been returning to Uttar Pradesh since then with fresh new investments, and also companies who have been existing, who have been expanding them. This has been many of them have been a part of the CII's national board, and the stories are just excellent in the way things have been expedited. So we will really look at those stories. We will capture them. We will really talk about it to the rest of the world, because the industry will really talk about how facilitation has been done. So I'd like to conclude by just only making a humble submission that, we have a few offices across the Uttar Pradesh of the CII. We will expand this and we will strengthen this in a manner. One of the work that we do, which is bringing in competitiveness of the Indian industry, we have centers which are focused on sustainability, centers which are focused on small and medium enterprises, competitiveness. We have centers of excellence which are based on lowering carbon footprints of companies. We have centers of excellence which are focused on logistics. And each of these centers, so there are 10 centers across the country. We unfortunately do not have a center of excellence in Uttar Pradesh, and we have a center of excellence on water, which is working on different water-starved districts and working on making those districts into water-positive districts in many states of the country. So we will work with your government to see how we can bring in all these centers of excellence into one place in Uttar Pradesh, to see to it that we are able to work with the existing industries and the new industries, making them competitive so that they can be a part of the great growth story of UP. And these centers of excellence shall be completely funded by our private sector members. But we will work closely with your government so that Indian industry who works in Uttar Pradesh would be world-class, world quality, and we will work with you to see to it that they are also the great ambassadors of your state in the times to come. We really applaud this huge opportunity that you are giving once again to the Indian industry to be a part of the story of Uttar Pradesh on the 10th to the 12th of February. We will be present with a large number of high quality Indian industry from each and every part of the country. But we will also strive to see that the partner countries that you have selected, you are working with them, our partners in those countries, we are able to get them also to participate and stay engaged with the state of Uttar Pradesh. Congratulations to you, sir, and to your leadership, and we look forward to working with you closely. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for giving us greater insights on how CII is working closely with the government of Uttar Pradesh and further facilitating greater collaboration between the government and the industry. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we have the message from the transformational leader, our very dynamic and Yashasvi Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh, Shri Yogi Adityanath ji. If you can have the video, please.
नमस्कार। सम्मानित निवेशक एवं उद्यमी बंधुओं, हम भारतवासी वसुधैव कुटुंबकम यानी पूरा विश्व एक परिवार है की मूल भावना से मानवता की सेवा करते हैं। विश्व के सबसे लोकप्रिय नेता एवं भारत के यशस्वी प्रधानमंत्री माननीय नरेंद्र मोदी जी के प्रेरक एवं कुशल नेतृत्व में भारत निवेशकों का फेवरेट डेस्टिनेशन बनकर उभरा है। पिछले 8 वर्षों में हमारे देश में राजनीतिक स्थायित्व एवं गुड गवर्नेंस के नए दौर का सृजन हुआ है। माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी के मूल मंत्र रिफॉर्म, परफॉर्म और ट्रांसफॉर्म का अनुसरण करते हुए आज उत्तर प्रदेश नए भारत का ग्रोथ इंजन बनकर उभरा है। प्रचुर प्राकृतिक संसाधनों वाला उत्तर प्रदेश, गुड गवर्नेंस, अपराध एवं भ्रष्टाचार के प्रति जीरो टॉलरेंस की नीति, सबसे बड़े उपभोक्ता बाजार, सिंगल विंडो पोर्टल, निवेश मित्र, एमओयू का मॉनिटरिंग पोर्टल, निवेश सारथी, ऑनलाइन इंसेंटिव मैनेजमेंट सिस्टम तथा 25 निवेश फ्रेंडली औद्योगिक नीतियों के साथ ईज ऑफ डूइंग बिजनेस में अग्रणी राज्य है। आज उत्तर प्रदेश देश के सबसे आधुनिक इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर वाले राज्यों में शामिल हो चुका है। राज्य में 6 एक्सप्रेसवे पूर्ण हो चुके हैं, 7 एक्सप्रेसवे विकसित किए जा रहे हैं। प्रदेश में भारत का सबसे बड़ा रेल नेटवर्क उपलब्ध है। हमारे यहाँ 3 अंतर्राष्ट्रीय एयरपोर्ट संचालित हैं तथा 2 निर्माणाधीन हैं। वर्तमान में 9 एयरपोर्ट क्रियाशील हैं तथा 10 एयरपोर्ट पर कार्य जारी है। भारत के पहले अंतर्देशीय जल मार्ग का हल्दिया वाराणसी पथ संचालित हो गया है। उत्तर प्रदेश भारत की जीडीपी में 8% का योगदान दे रहा है। वर्ष 2022-23 में प्रदेश की जीएसडीपी लगभग 21 लाख करोड़ होने का अनुमान है, जो वर्ष 2016-17 के जीएसडीपी के सापेक्ष 65% की वृद्धि दर्शाता है। इस दौरान प्रदेश की अर्थव्यवस्था औसतन 11% की दर से बढ़ी है। आज उत्तर प्रदेश देश की दूसरी सबसे बड़ी अर्थव्यवस्था बनने की ओर अग्रसर है। पिछले 5 वर्षों में, जिसमें वैश्विक महामारी कोरोना कालखंड में जब पूरा विश्व आर्थिक चुनौतियों के दौर से गुजर रहा था, के बावजूद उत्तर प्रदेश में रिकॉर्ड 4 लाख करोड़ रुपए से अधिक का निवेश परियोजनाएं प्रारंभ हुई, जो नई उत्तर प्रदेश में निवेशकों के विश्वास का प्रमाण है। माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी के संकल्प के अनुरूप उत्तर प्रदेश भारत की इकोनॉमी ग्रोथ को गति देने के लिए तैयार है। इसे तो उत्तर प्रदेश की राजधानी लखनऊ में 10 से 12 फरवरी 2023 को ग्लोबल इन्वेस्टर समिट का आयोजन किया जा रहा है। मैं आप सभी को ग्लोबल इन्वेस्टर समिट 2023 में आमंत्रित कर रहा हूं। आइए नए भारत के ग्रोथ इंजन की रफ्तार का हिस्सा बने, उत्तर प्रदेश में निवेश करें। नए भारत के नए उत्तर प्रदेश में आपका स्वागत है। जय हिंद।
So that, ladies and gentlemen, was a personal invite by the Honorable Chief Minister to all of you to come to Uttar Pradesh, to come to Lucknow, see for yourself the growth, the potential, the promise of Uttar Pradesh, and take your more informed decisions regarding your investments there. And we now continue to give you more information about the investment attractiveness of Uttar Pradesh, and towards that, we now present you a short film. If you can play the film, please.
The blessed land of Ram, the modern land of expressways, the blessed land of Krishna, the leading state with 5 international airports, the blessed land of Ganga and many religions, the dynamic land with rapid connectivity, Uttar Pradesh, the land that has always remained India's cultural and spiritual capital, now has been transformed into New India's growth engine. Come and discover unlimited enterprising opportunities offered by New Uttar Pradesh at UP Global Investors Summit 10th to 12th February 2023. The 3-day event happening in the vibrant city of Lucknow will witness the participation of 10,000 global corporate leaders, innovators, business visionaries and startups from over 20 countries. Nations like Singapore, UK, Netherlands, Denmark, Mauritius, Japan, Australia confirmed their participation as partner countries for GIS 2023. Concurrent to the summit, an exhibition will also be organized from 10th to the 14th of February, where companies from India and overseas will participate to showcase their technologies, innovations, investment opportunities, investment potential, and have B2B interactions. The Yogi government has planned a series of domestic and international roadshows before hosting the GIS 2023 to showcase UP's soft power and promising business destinations. Delegations from the state already travelled to 21 cities in 16 countries and garnered more than 7 lakh crore rupees of investment intents. Imbibing Prime Minister Narendra Modi's mantra of reform, perform and transform, Uttar Pradesh has already emerged as a favourite among top industrialists of the country. And why not? After all, it offers a consumer base of 24 crores and 56% working age population and is a top-ranking state in ease of doing business. Let's have a look at Uttar Pradesh's thriving business ecosystem. With 6 existing and 7 upcoming expressways, Now, Uttar Pradesh is known as Express Pradesh. What's more, it's 9 operational, 10 upcoming airports, world-class interstate 4-lane highways, and the futuristic rapid rail transport system from Meerut to Ghaziabad and Delhi are turning Uttar Pradesh into a popular logistic hub of India. The state is also the destination of India's first water transport system and the largest airport coming up at Jewar. Now, that is why UP is called the gateway of big future investment plans. Uttar Pradesh is also the chosen destination for developing India's defense industrial corridor. Fertile land and ample water resources make Uttar Pradesh ideal for agro and food processing and dairy. UP is India's #1 producer of grain, sugar, potato, pea and ethanol. Add to this, the state also holds the distinction of being India's largest mobile manufacturing hub. Zero tolerance on crime and corruption, plus the development of mega projects like IIT GNL in Greater Noida, Mega Food Park in Bareilly, Trans Ganga City in Unnao, Plastic Park and Garment Park in Gorakhpur, and several flatted factory complexes has transformed UP into an investment magnet for big corporates and MSMEs equally. Today, the state is India's emerging data center hub, medical hub and educational hub, and offers metro connectivity in all the major cities, enhancing the ease of living. Such is the positive response to the plan of developing Film City in Noida that today Uttar Pradesh has turned into India's preferred shooting location. Another successful endeavor is the One District, One Product project, which now many other Indian states are following. No doubt, with 90 lakh MSMEs thriving dynamically, UP is the new MSME hub of India. So come and explore sector-specific industrial project, robust infrastructure, and India's best industrial policies, all customized to expand your business. Inspired by PM Modi's dream of Digital India, UP's digital progress is remarkable. Here you can give your business the desired edge through single window portal for all application and approvals, online incentive management system OIMS for application of incentives, investors relationship management system for hand-holding support. All these investor-friendly initiatives have one goal: highlighting Uttar Pradesh on global platform and making it a $1 trillion economy. Come and enjoy a business ecosystem guided by the vision of Prime Minister Narendra Modi, strengthened by the leadership of Yogi Adityanath. Come, invest in Uttar Pradesh, New India's growth engine.
So, ladies and gentlemen, after this sneak peek into this land of opportunities, the Express Pradesh, we now have a detailed presentation on the investment and business attractiveness of the state, and would like to invite Shri Arvind Kumarji, the Additional Chief Secretary, Infrastructure and Industrial Development Commissioner, for the presentation.
There's a ticket here. Okay. This is not moving. Will you be moving from there, or should I move it from here? From there. From there? Okay. So, with the permission of the chair, I will just like to cover some of the points which have not been covered already, because much has already been said by my previous distinguished personalities here on the dais. I'll just like to give a brief snapshot of the kind of opportunities which have emerged, the transformation which has happened. Please. So this is the economy
parameters, indicators of Uttar Pradesh. Much has also been said by Honorable Sherpa ji also and my previous speakers. I will not like to dwell on them. UP has got a good export potential. It has got a huge market base. It has already it is a $250 billion economy, and what we have set a goal for ourselves is that we'll become a $1 trillion economy, and our contribution to the country's economy will increase from 8% to 20%. UP already has a good CAGR rate, and you can see the world rate, the India rate, and the Uttar Pradesh. Even during COVID, UP's economy showed resilience, and we continue to grow. And this is the growth rate which we want to enhance. And if we have to achieve a $1 trillion economy, this growth rate has to be basically touching somewhere around 30%, which is a huge task, humongous task, and therefore we are gearing up towards achieving that goal. Next, please. So much has also been said about connectivity. I will not like to dwell much on that. You already have the figures on the slide. We have worked on connectivity because the disadvantage with Uttar Pradesh was that we are a landlocked state, and therefore some of the industries were not amenable to investments in UP, but now it is being taken care of by working on 19 airports, by working on dedicated freight corridors, by working on inland waterways. And now after we have created this connectivity and infrastructure, and a huge infrastructure, we have also worked on our policies. Because to encash this infrastructure, we need to develop the industrial areas also, the clusters along these expressways and dedicated freight corridors. And we have improved upon the warehousing and logistic policy also, so that we can develop the inland container depots, we can develop the private freight terminals, we can develop the entire warehousing infrastructure around these, so that it becomes a favorite destination for exports also, and the bottleneck which was faced earlier by the industries is also taken care of. Next, please. Now, in terms of governance indicators also, Mr. Amitabh Kant also mentioned that we have improved upon all the various indicators which the Niti Aayog and Government of India is bringing, be it ease of doing business, be it the good governance index, be it the leads rankings. And now we have come up with an overarching industrial policy, which is now providing options to choose from. Earlier, the limitation in our industrial policy was, can you skip to the next slide, please? Earlier, the bottleneck in the industrial policy was that it was giving only net SGST reimbursement, but now some of the other states also have switched over to multiple options, and therefore we have also now provided 3 alternatives to industrialists to choose from. The Government of India has already brought out about 15 PLI schemes, so we have said that the PLI holders there can opt for, they have to choose from various states, so why they should choose UP? Unless UP gives some top-up incentives, they will not be able to come to UP, and they may choose any other state. So we have given 30% top-up over and above the Government of India. This is one option which is available to investors who are benefiting from. And depending on the material you are sourcing from Uttar Pradesh itself, so that the ancillaries can also grow. So these 3 booster also we have provided, and the capital subsidy incentive can go up to 42%. So this is the level of incentive which we are providing now. We have chosen focus sectors also. Pump storage power is becoming important now. We have also made it part of the industrial policy, and now we got 2 good projects in that. One is by Greenco, the other is by JSW Energy. They are investing about 14,000 crore worth of projects each in Mirzapur and Bundelkhand area on pump storage power plants itself. So we have opened up new areas also. We have looked at various sectors. So this will be the overarching policy. But then we have identified various sectors also, 25 sectoral policies, which you saw in the video also, and in the previous discussions also. So these are 25 different sectoral policies which we have already worked on. And now they have become very attractive and very lucrative, and I'll give you some of the glimpses of them. Next, please. This is the skill set which is available to in Uttar Pradesh. There is no dearth of educational institutions. There is no dearth of ITIs and polytechnics. UP has a student exchange program which is with international universities, and about 5,000 international students are studying in UP. And this ecosystem is only growing with the increasing number of engineering colleges and medical colleges and higher educational institutions, because all those policies have also been opened up. And the recognition of the new universities also has picked up fast. So now the higher educational institutions growth is also picking up. There is a skill set available, and the number of startups also is growing now. The startup and innovation ecosystem is also growing, and I'll touch upon that in subsequent slides. Next, please. Now, as I was mentioning, that we are creating clusters, different kind of clusters. So there are, we want to encash the growth, which is growth potential of the Jewar Airport also, and Jamuna Authority being a new authority, and it has got a good land bank. We are trying to create various clusters. So one of them is the electronic manufacturing cluster, which we are putting up in a 1,000-acre area. And I see friends from ICEA and electronic manufacturing industry in large number here. So that will be a potential area where further businesses can come in. We are also trying to set up a semiconductor park there. There's a medical device park which has been planned, and already allocations have been done. Honorable Prime Minister has been telling the states that toy is an important segment, so toy manufacturing should also be promoted. We have also set up a toy park here, and already working with the Toy Manufacturers Association. Many of the allotments have already been done, and possession has also been started to be given there. The textile, pharma, defense corridor is another major area for investments here in UP. And out of the 2 defense corridors, one of them is located in Uttar Pradesh. So to bring in investors, and when we went internationally, we saw a lot of interest which is there in defense and aerospace segment. I mean, 19 airports are coming up here. We therefore worked on the defense and aerospace policy also, and simultaneously we have worked on 2 other policies. One is the civil aviation policy, so that the regional connectivity scheme gets promoted and incentivized, and better services can pick up. And since the Jewar Airport is coming up, there is a possibility of a maintenance, repair and overhaul facility, which is not available right now, and it is available only in south. There has to be a good base in north region also, so therefore that is another area which we have worked on. And there is a separate MRO policy which we have come out with, and we are looking for a good investment there. We have got some proposals, and we'll be working on them. So defense and aerospace is another cluster-based development which we are pursuing. Leather is an obvious choice for us, and therefore leather parks are also coming up. There's a huge textile park coming up. Medical device park is already there. So MSME parks are there. We are also building on a flatted factory so that plug-and-play facilities can also be made available. So this is the kind of infrastructure we are trying to create so that plug-and-play facilities become available. In the western side, there is a logistic hub also, multimodal logistic hub and multimodal transport hub, which is coming up, and on the junction of both the dedicated freight corridors, so that the exports from that area become possible, and this bottleneck which UP faced no longer remains. Next, please. Now, these are the land essentially is the key element, and as I mentioned, while on one side we are developing the industrial areas and industrial clusters, but then we are also working on facilitation for development of private industrial park, and we have updated that policy. We have now brought in capital subsidies also there, And so that again you can look at if you are into development of logistic parks and industrial parks. This policy has now been made attractive. Beyond 500 crore investment, we have made a provision that we'll be able to fast track the allotment of land. There is a committee which we have set up in the state level, and once that committee recommends, you will get land on a nomination basis directly by the authority, and you will not have to go through an auction process which generally happens in the authorities. So that is another facilitation for large investments. For FDIs, if they are coming up, this limit from 500 crore has been decreased to 200 crores. So anybody who is bringing in an FDI worth 200 crores, he can also get a direct allotment of land, and the authorities will be able to facilitate that once the letter from the government comes in. So this is the kind of ecosystem. We are also utilizing the industrial corridors which are coming up along the dedicated freight corridors. So there is a Delhi-Mumbai industrial corridor also, and there is Amritsar-Kolkata industrial corridor also. And we are developing two industrial clusters there, one in Prayagraj and one in Agra, in collaboration with NICDC, Government of India. So they also are potential areas where the land can be available and incentives will also be available. Next, please. Now, these are the three portals which you already know about Nivesh Mitra. We have also integrated to the National Single Window System, and more than 350 services are available. People have had a good experience and the user feedback is very good. The Nivesh Sarthi portal is one which we have recently created, because from the last GBC, we had this experience that the people find it difficult to raise queries, and we also found it difficult to track the queries whether an investor's issue has been resolved or not. So this will be an online portal now where you can raise your issues. Once your investment gets logged in with us, then it becomes our responsibility to see that all your queries are addressed. So this will give a trail of all your queries, whether the department is addressing them or not, whether they are being timely sorted out or not. And then the responsibility on the officer side also can be fixed. So this is a portal which is for hand-holding all the MOUs, and therefore we push that you sign an online MOU with us, so that if the officer even changes, your track record is there, whether your queries are being addressed, कब आपने क्या-क्या issues raise किया और उसका समाधान लोगों ने किया या नहीं किया. Simultaneously, there have been issues with regard to getting the incentives also as promised in the policy. So to avoid any kind of paper transactions, we have made it online again. So you can file once you come into commercial operations, or at whatever stage your incentive becomes due, you can file your claims there and it will be sorted out and we'll be able to monitor that. Next, please. So these are different policies. Some of them I have already covered: defense and aerospace, electronics manufacturing, semiconductors. In the electronic manufacturing space and in other policies, because now the emphasis also is on development of centers of excellence and on R&D. So we have made provisions to support center of excellences and R&Ds also. About 6 center of excellences are already working. One of them is with collaboration with ICEA and MIT and CDAC, which is in the mobile accessories, which has come up in Noida. The other center of excellence which we have set up is in artificial intelligence and machine learning. This is with IIT Kanpur and FICCI. There is a MedTech center of excellence which is in SGPGI. There are 2 defense centers of excellence, which are one in IIT Kanpur and one is in IIT BHU. And there is 1 center of excellence in drone technology also, which we have supported. We give to the tune of about 10 crore worth of grant, and the rest of the cost is to be borne by the institution. So it can be an association, it can be an industry, it can be an academia which can set up the center of excellences. We want that the innovation ecosystem should grow, and so to that extent we have updated various policies also. So ITS, logistics and warehousing, data center, as was mentioned earlier, also has picked up very well, and we have updated that policy also. The entire country's capacity right now is coming up in Noida, Ghaziabad area. So that is one big satisfaction for us, and the interest is only growing. We are getting many proposals from all over the world, and all big companies now want to set up data centers in Uttar Pradesh. Agro and food processing, APC had highlighted, and in the policy, in the film also you saw. EV is another area where we want investments, and we are very happy to share that in our global outreach also, and now this is the third state roadshow which we are holding. We held first in Mumbai, then second in Chennai, this is the third one in Delhi, and we'll be covering 5 more states. So we have got a lot of interest both in battery manufacturing and in EV manufacturing. And we have introduced purchase subsidy also. So right from two-wheelers to buses to commercial vehicles, the purchase subsidy will be operational once our portal becomes ready. I think within 15 to 20 days that purchase subsidy should be available. So the demand will also pick up. We have also given supply side incentives and demand side incentives. So this policy we hope will pick up well, both for EV hubs and both for battery manufacturing. Next, please. This is textiles, renewable energy. In the renewable energy, I am happy to share that geothermal energy has also been picked up. We got $3 billion worth of investment intent from US, and they are very keen. This plant has not been set up in India, but we got an intent, and they are very keen, and they are aggressively pursuing. And the government of India is also pushing that new sectors for energy consumption energy production should come in. And the claim is that this will be 50% cost than even the solar power cost if once it becomes operational. So we are getting good proposals here in the renewable energy segment also. We have a bioenergy policy and solar energy policy which we have updated. Tourism is another area. You have looked at the potential. You are already aware. I need not elaborate on that. But now the tourism policy has created incentives where all these spots can be developed. The tourism potential, be it on eco-tourism, religious tourism, historical tourism, all those heritage sites can be developed with the private sector participating in them. So there will be bidding process which will be initiated, and so people can pick up, develop resorts in heritage sites, and we'll provide them connectivity of road and infra to those sites so that those develop into good tourist destinations, and they provide their relevant share to the economy development. Then on the startups I have just mentioned, then real estate is an obvious choice. Film city is again a focus area. We have acquired about 1,000 acres land in Yamuna Authority area. The bids are already out. The last date is 30th of January. And we hope that we will get a good developer so that this film city comes up. So this entire pre-production, post-production facility, shooting, everything, UP already is the leading state in terms of film shooting. So we have been getting this award year-on-year basis. It is already a good filming location because of the facilities which we are providing. So this is another area where we are focusing on. Next, please. So this is our leader's vision that we have to basically become a $1 trillion economy, and we therefore are gearing up towards that. Next, please. These are the destinations which we covered just at a glance, 16 countries and 21 destinations, and we got intents worth about 7 lakh crores from various destinations. And we are getting good response from the state roadshows also, just to share with you. Next, please. This is the format of the Global Investor Summit. It will be inaugurated by Honorable Prime Minister with a closing by Honorable President. And we are also simultaneously putting up a global trade show also. And so there will be 6 activities which we are scheduling in the trade show also. So you can showcase your products, you can find buyers. The international companies can also find their buyers here. So it is not only that we are seeking investments, we are also trying to promote trade also. And we will try to make it an annual feature so that this people can plan accordingly in advance. And then they can, they get a chance to find and utilize the potential consumer market which is available in Uttar Pradesh. So there will be a connect between G2B, B2B and B2C. Next, please. So thank you very much and for sparing time, and I'm very hopeful that you'll be investing in UP and you'll be participating in the GIS. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir, for this presentation on the strengths of Uttar Pradesh and the sectoral ecosystem which the government has set and where the investors can consider investing in these particular sectors. Ladies and gentlemen, as you heard earlier also that UP government would like to move ahead with the recommendations and suggestions from all of you also. और सभी के साथ सभी के प्रयास के साथ और सभी के साथ परामर्श कर आगे की रणनीति और किस तरह के और सुधार लाने चाहिए, तो इसकी तरफ हमारे इंडस्ट्री पर्सपेक्टिव को अब आमंत्रित करते हैं. हमारे साथ मंच पर हैं श्री समीर गुप्ता जी, चेयरमैन एंड मैनेजिंग डायरेक्टर जैक्सन ग्रुप. उन्हें मैं आमंत्रित करती हूँ इंडस्ट्री पर्सपेक्टिव के लिए.
A very good afternoon to all of you. Honorable Ministers, Shri A.K. Sharma ji, Shri Nand Gopal Gupta ji, Shri Lakshmi Narayan Chaudhary ji, Shri Kapil Agarwal ji, Shri Sandeep Singh ji, our special and important guest, Mr. Amitabh Kant ji, who has left, Shri Chandrajit Banerjee ji, senior government officers, Shri Durga Shankar Mishra ji, Manoj Kumar Singh ji, Arvind Kumar ji, Abhishek Prakash ji, and Ritu Maheshwari ji, all my friends from the industry and members from the media. On behalf of CII and on my personal behalf, I welcome you all for this roadshow on investment opportunities in Uttar Pradesh. It is of course a pleasure and an honor to be here amongst such an august gathering. Enough has been said by distinguished speakers. I'm going to be pretty brief in my speech today. UP, as we know, is heartland of India, and as was said by Mr. D.S. Mishra, if it were a country, it would be the 5th largest in the world in terms of population. UP contributes 8% to India's GDP and provides one of the largest consumer markets in the country. This is only expected to grow due to rising middle class and urbanization. Very evidently, UP has witnessed unprecedented growth over the last 5 years. There is significant focus of the government, as we have seen in various presentations given in key areas like MSME, infrastructure, smart cities, judicial system, education system, healthcare, renewable energy, data centers, warehousing, logistics, to name a few. Arvind ji has spoken about 25 sectoral focused policies which are there to promote investments in the state. I have experienced 3 significant transformations in this state over the last few years, which I would like to share. Of course, a lot has been said about it, but still briefly I would like to share about it. One is law and order. I think law and order situation has totally changed in the state, which has given residents and investors a renewed confidence. I am convinced that this is one of the major factors which has resulted in accelerated growth of the state. Government today has almost zero tolerance policy towards crime, which speaks volumes about intent of the government. Second is infrastructure and connectivity. Again, a lot has been said. We have seen very inspiring presentations. Mishra ji spoke in detail about the infrastructure and connectivity. So did Amitabh ji and Arvind ji. I will not say much about it, except that, I think this infra growth in the state has been a game changer for the state, and the reduction of transit time, be it within the country or within the state, has resulted in significant growth of the economy in the state. Third transformation is on the governance, which is an amazing experience, I would say. Government has ensured digitization and digital transparency, which has resulted in wonderful experiences for the investor. The single window actually addresses queries within 24 hours, which is a highly welcome change. Senior bureaucrats and government officers are there to support, and they are quite forthcoming to facilitate partnership between industry and the government. I had opportunity to interact with Arvind ji on few occasions personally, and I would go to the extent of saying that he had been always in a very, positive mode and a solution-finding mode. Not once did I experience, where we were trying to look at the hurdles. Always in a solution mode. Very, very encouraging, very inspiring, to say the least. Ranking of the state, as we heard, has risen from 12 to 2, and the reasons, as we have seen, are pretty obvious. The state, with the right mix of investor-friendly policies and an enabling business environment, has created a niche for itself and has become one of the ideal investment destinations. State of UP has recently revised its renewable policy, solar policy, and also announced bioenergy policy. India, as we all know, is committed to net zero by 2070, which was announced by our Honorable Prime Minister. And both these policies on renewable, solar, and of course bioenergy, I think it's going to contribute significantly to India's carbon neutrality agenda. I'm very happy to share that our company Jackson has invested in 1 gigawatt of module manufacturing facility in Greater Noida, and 100 megawatt of solar power plant in last couple of years in UP. And I'm also pleased to share, that's one of the commitments I gave, that we will be investing in 10 distributed plants for manufacturing biofuels. I found this biofuel policy very motivating, and I would suggest whosoever is in the related field of energy and infra to definitely go through this policy. Before I sum up, I would say that economy of the state is being rebuilt on new foundation of growth and prosperity for all. The state indeed offers unlimited opportunities, and the state is very much on track to be $1 trillion economy. On behalf of CII, I would like to thank Government of UP for having CII as the industry partner for Global Investor Summit to be held from 10th to 12th February at Lucknow. We at CII have worked very closely with Government of UP to organize road shows across the world and in major cities in the country. The overseas campaign was concluded in December, and as we have heard, it has attracted huge investments in the state in various segments, which includes defense, film, automobiles, waste management, malls, electric mobility, and data centers. Once again, I would like to thank Government of UP for giving us this opportunity and making CII as partner in their growth journey. I'll stop here, and I look forward to seeing all of you in the Global Investor Summit. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir, for being the voice of the industry and also your further commitments of your group, the Jackson Group. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we would also like to invite and hear the views of some of the industry who have already invested in Uttar Pradesh, inviting their experiences. May I first invite Mr. Madhav Singhania, the Deputy Managing Director and CEO of JK Cement Limited.
Honorable Ministers of the Uttar Pradesh Government, Shri A.K. Sharma ji, Shri Nand Gopal Gupta ji, Shri Lakshmi Narayan Chaudhary ji, Shri Kapil Agarwal ji, Shri Sandeep Singh ji, Senior Bureaucrats of the UP Government, Shri Durga Shankar Mishra ji, Arvind Kumar ji, Manoj Kumar ji, Ritu ji, Chandrajit Banerjee, DGCII, officials of the UP Government, my friends from industry, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of CII, firstly, I'd like to welcome this very high-powered delegation from Uttar Pradesh, and I thank the UP government and CII for inviting me to share my views on this occasion. Some of you may be aware the JK organization was actually formed in Kanpur in Uttar Pradesh about 135 years ago, and we have seen Uttar Pradesh as it has transformed over the many years and the decade that has gone by. We are happy to see the change and development under the able leadership of the Honorable Chief Minister, Shri Yogi Adityanath ji, and the state government has accorded highest priority to industrial growth, which is reflected in the fact that UP is now second in ease of doing business. You've heard enough about UP. I think I'll share a little about our own experience of investing in UP. At JK Cement, we have invested in a 2 million ton cement grinding unit in Aligarh in UP first, and then another 2 million ton grinding unit in the Hamirpur district, which was actually facilitated by Abhishek ji when he was the DM in Hamirpur at that time. And I must compliment the Nivesh Mitra program. You know, we've heard two people talk about it, where any and all clearances can get sorted out on this portal. And because of this portal, sir, I must compliment you, and I must also tell you that our Aligarh GU from land acquisition to commissioning was probably the fastest that we have executed in recent times in the country. We are also in the process of setting up another 2 million ton plant in Prayagraj district, for which the letter of comfort is already available, which will take our total capacity to over 6 million tons and make us the second largest cement producer in UP. We are also in the process of setting up a state-of-the-art paint manufacturing facility, our first in the country, which will be in Mathura. And sir, इसमें भी मैं आपको बधाई दूं, the land allotment process of UPSIDC took a record 15 days. It is my compliments to your government. Our total investment in the state will cross 1,500 crores over the next couple of years. We have also contributed 60 crores to develop a state-of-the-art hospital as a part of the School of Medical Research and Technology being set up by IIT Kanpur. I can proudly say that UP has one of the best subsidy policies for industry. It has improved its infrastructure in a massive way. and above all, it's resolved all the law and order issues that used to exist in the past. I'd like to thank the UP government that has left no stone unturned to attract industry, and I encourage you all to come forward and invest in the state. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Singhania. And may I now request Mr. Sunil Vachani, the Executive Chairman, Dixon Technologies India Limited.
I'm told I have to keep it very short. I promise to do that. Honorable ministers on the dais, honorable secretaries, other dignitaries, and ladies and gentlemen, it's a pleasure to be here on behalf of the industry, on behalf of Dixon, and talking to you about our experience in the state of UP. Sir, our journey started with UP almost 30 years back with just a single factory. And this was in Noida with just a few people. And today, Dixon has 8 state-of-the-art plants in UP, employing more than 11,000 people and starting with just 30 people, and manufacturing a wide range of products, which includes LED televisions, lighting, home appliances, set-top boxes, and of course, mobile phones. Sir, it's not only for Dixon that UP is the #1 choice. As you rightly mentioned, that in the electronics and the appliances industry, UP has already become the #1 choice for many, many companies. I think the Honorable Minister mentioned in the presentation that almost 60% of the mobiles sold in India are manufactured in the state. It's not only mobiles, you'll be happy to know that almost 50% of the lighting requirement, the consumer and lighting like LED bulbs, is manufactured in the state. At Dixon ourselves, we are manufacturing almost 20% of the total consumed LED bulbs within the state. And also, it is the largest manufacturer for products like washing machines also and other home appliances and also LED televisions. Sir, we at Dixon, as I mentioned, that we are already committed to the state, and today we are committing more investments into the state. Dixon is in the process of setting up the largest plant for manufacturing refrigerators in the country, in the state of UP. This will be a capacity of almost 1.5 million refrigerators a year, and it is going to be the single largest plant at any location. Sir, we are also committing to set up a manufacturing plant for manufacturing telecom products. This will be consumer and telecom products like set-top boxes, ONTs, OLTs, and routers. This is a joint venture with Bharti Group, manufacturing for Airtel and many other telcos, not only for India, but exporting to the world. Another joint venture for manufacturing smart watches and the audio products. This is a joint venture with leading brand, Indian brand called Boat. This is also being set up in the UP, and sir, this is going to be the largest capacity for manufacturing smart watches and audio products in the country, and very proud of that. Sir, everyone, I think a lot of people have already talked about that what makes UP the #1 state destination and why is it endearing for everybody. So I'm not going to go into that, but from our own experience in Dixon, the kind of ease of doing business that we have seen in UP, the kind of infrastructure that we see in UP, and most importantly, the positive attitude that we see of all the senior officers in the state, I think that is really heartwarming and endearing. And I would especially like to thank Mr. Arvind Kumarji. And whenever we've had a problem in the industry or us personally, it's not taken days, it's taken hours to sort it out. So we are grateful on behalf of the industry for all the support that has happened. I won't take too long as promised, but sir, just to conclude, I'm remembering the sayings of the famous poet, and I've repeated that many times, but I think it reflects the mood of the nation and mood in UP today, that no power on earth can stop an idea whose time has come. And the Honorable Minister rightly said that this is the time for UP, this is the time for making UP the #1 state and making India the hub for manufacturing for India and for the world. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Vachani, for your emphatic endorsement and for your commitments. May I now request Mr. Vineet Mittal, the chairperson of Avada Group. Okay. Would like to then request, we have a representative from Mr. Gurdeep Singh, from NTPC Limited. I believe she's here. If you can please make way for her. And further to that, would like to request Mr. Sanjay Bhalla, the CEO of MEPI.
Thank you, Vinay. Honorable Ministers of UP Government and senior bureaucrats of UP Government, ladies and gentlemen. I thank, on behalf of NTPC, I would like to take this opportunity to say that NTPC has had a very, very long and productive relationship with UP Government. NTPC's first power plant, thermal power plant at Singrauli, was set up in 1982. And let me say that since the last 40 years, it is one of the most efficient plants of the country. And I'm very happy to share with you that this journey has been continuing, and NTPC has invested till date around 52,000 crores in NTPC in its various thermal power plants across the state. To continue the relationship further, we have today signed 4 MOUs with UP of nearly 40,000 crores, which includes both thermal power capacity and RE power capacity. This is UP has been working towards clean energy, and we are holding hands with UP because it has a lot. As you may be aware, that NTPC has the largest capacity of floating solar in India. And with this, we are joining hands with the UP government for exploiting the potential of the Rehan Reservoir. So that is one of the projects which is a part of this investment that we are going to make. And besides this investment, there are already ongoing projects in which we are going to make about 10,000 crore investment. So I am very happy to share with you that NTPC has always had a very, very strong relationship with UP, and we would continue, and we will continue this relationship and lead it to a productive and which will be a win-win for both UP and for NTPC. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for bringing the message of the CMD and for being further partners in growth with UP. May I now request Mr. Sanjay Bhalla, the CEO of MEPI.
Good morning, Honorable Ministers of State, esteemed guests, and bureaucrats on the stage. First of all, everything has been said about UP government, and our association with UP has been pre-pandemic when we planned to start our manufacturing unit in UP. Though we already had 2 plants in India, one in Bangalore and one in Vadodara, and we're looking for an expansion of the 3rd plant in North. And as rightly said, pre-experience with UP has been a very, very difficult. Everybody had a different opinion of UP. But after this government of Honorable Yogi Adityanath ji and the central government plan for the infrastructure growth, we opted for the Kosi unit. And to be very frank, the journey with the government and the ministers and the UP SIDA has been tremendously excellent, and without meeting, the approach has been solved, and any issues has been solved only on the WhatsApp on the mobile. Even like what the JK Cement was were telling, that the problem was not solved in a day, it was solved in hours. So whatever land acquisition, everything was solved in minutes. And the tools which the UP government has provided and improvised with the passage of time, like Nivesh Mitra, Nivesh Sarthi, everything has been so friendly, and they have given an all-handhold support to the investors. So I will not take much of the time and just say that UP seems to be going great ahead with the growth for the state, with a definite strategic roadmap to make UP for being one of the best states of the country. And I would really say that after we invested in UP, we gave our raw material suppliers that this is the right state to invest, which will also affect their growth plan for the future of themselves. So we already had expansion plans within the UP state for the future. And with this, I would like to also thank the ministers who have really helped us in solving our problems immediately. And there has been a power issue initially there, because when you start a unit, the infrastructure has been, but the solution to the problem was given very fast. Being a multinational, we are contributing 5% of the growth to the infrastructure. And as per our Honorable Prime Minister, Mr. Modi ji, he is investing a lot on infrastructure. We are investing 5%. We are already involved in major infrastructure projects like bullet train, metros, and this Atal Tunnel, Statue of Unity. With UP as one of the main heart of the north, the connectivity to the major projects has been excellent. So logistics, connectivity, infrastructure growth has been really comfortable to have an investment in the UP. Even our European Board of Directors are completely satisfied with a survey conducted by us. Internationally, MAPAI is a $4 billion euro company having investments in 80 countries, and we have got around 20,000 employees across the globe. A global multinational has really been totally satisfied after investing in UP. UP SIDA has always been very supportive, and thanks to all the staff, and especially Mr. Maheshwari ji, CEO of the UP SIDA, who has even a phone call away to solve our any problems. Now, in the last, I would say that today, according to after the taking charge of UP, Honorable Chief Minister is taking no stone unturned in his mission of making UP a dream state. So I always request, and I vouch for the state that this is the right place to invest and to make any organization grow in the future. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Bhalla. And may I now request Mr. Satish Kumar Maratha, the Managing Director of AB Mori India, for his views and his experiences.
Honorable Ministers, dignitaries, delegates, friends, I'm really extremely thankful to CI and the organizers to give me an opportunity to share my experience about our upcoming project in Pilibhit in Uttar Pradesh. She's telling me the time is short, and but there are a lot of experience. As citizens, we don't appreciate government and the officials who really are smart, honest, and dedicated. I will not share much about and not go into detail, but I will tell you a simple story. Before that, I will tell you about AB Mori, who we are. AB Mori, we are supporting the bread industry. We are supporting the bakery industry. We supply the ingredients. East is one of them, and that plant is coming in Uttar Pradesh. Pilibhit, it will be a greenfield project. AB Mori is working for the last 80 years in India, but this will be our first greenfield project in South Asia. Our biggest plant is in Mexico currently, but this will be in future, will be the world's biggest plant of AB Mori of East manufacturing in India. So in the first phase, we are talking about 36,000 tons, and we have already acquired 257 acres of land. Who is AB Mori? AB Mori is the parental company is Associated British Food, which is a UK-based company. It is listed in UK Stock Exchange. It is $20 billion US dollar company, which we are, as a consumer, we don't know East, we don't know bakery ingredients because these are for B2B business. As consumers, we know one of our brand is Twinings, which is Twinings tea. Yeah, so ABF does sugar, ABF does grocery, ABF does Twinings, ABF does Primark, which is an apparel business. So we are in multiple business. In India, this will be our first plant, but India is changing and UP changing. Desh badal raha hai, sir. And 12 years back, we went out of UP because of the governance issue. We are back with 1100 crore investment. The plant will be, we are expecting this in 2024. Desh badal raha hai, UP badal raha hai, because when me and my team, I was in Unilever for 25 years. When my team in AB Mori 2 years back, we went to multiple cities, multiple states to identify which is the part of where should we put the plant. We met we never met any, could not meet the government ministers. The two point of contact for this 1100 crore investment was Mr. Arvind Kumar and Mr. Mayur Maheshwari. It was peak of COVID. All of us were working from home, and these gentlemen, they made our life easier by allotting us the land in 15 days. And it was not a small land. We actually goofed up, and really, Ms. Arvindji, sorry for that. We asked for 100 acre. We got some 67 acre in Allahabad. We went to them back saying, sorry, we need minimum 100 acre. Yeah. And they were not shouting at us. They said, why you need 200 acre? We gave the reason, logic. Within 15 days, they gave us the new land in Pilibhit. So that's a great stuff. When we presented it to our board in Peterborough and UK, they said, maybe Maratha does not know India. He's asking investment in Uttar Pradesh, the governance issues and stuff, because they knew that 10 years back we went out of Uttar Pradesh. So they were not believing then, and thanks Arvindji and Mayur Maheshwari, I really brought my board of directors from there multiple times, gave them the confidence, shared our experience with the government officials here. It was fantastically done. Thank you very much once again, Arvindji and Mr. Maheshwari. Then, starting from the district magistrate, because for us it's a green field, for government also it's a green field. It will be the first industrial area of Pilibhit. We will be the first industry in Pilibhit. So there were multiple issues, but starting from the DM, the UPCIDA department in Bareilly, they were all eager as if it was their plant. We are an ABC compliant company. We are listed in Stock Exchange of UK. That was one of the issue. ABC for us is anti-bribery and corruption. That was one of the concern. I can tell you with my confidence, we have only taken tea, coffee, and sweets from the government officials. They have not asked for a cup of tea also. That's a big change. Sir, UP is changing, India is changing. And we believe with the cooperation of the government and with the team effort, this will be one of the biggest, not one of the biggest, this will be the biggest plant for sure in time to come. We have some small issues in terms of, we met Sharma ji, A.K. Sharma ji and Mr. Nandi yesterday in the evening, and I told them, this is a change, sir, because the investor used to be in the queue and they were waiting for us at 9 o'clock in the night and saying, what are your issues? So this is changing. The India is changing and UP is changing. We have some small issues with the request with the sugar mill development minister. We have some requests with him. We'll do it on the appropriate time. There are small issues. We are not asking for any big stuff. We just want some visibility on the raw material available. We'll discuss with you, sir, today, and hopefully we'll get. Thank you very much. I'm delighted. I'm confident that we have taken a right decision to invest in UP, and we make sure that it generates the type of revenue we have and the type of employment which we have committed. Yeah. Thank you very much.
बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद सर आपके अनुभवों के लिए और आपके सुझावों के लिए. And in fact, thank you to all the industry leaders for sharing their experiences here. And the idea and the intent of bringing these experiences and testimonials to all of you was that if they feel safe and secure and they are happy to be in UP, same will you be. So I'm sure that instills a greater confidence in all who are thinking of investing in UP. और अब हम आमंत्रित करते हैं श्री लक्ष्मी नारायण चौधरी जी को, हमारे माननीय गन्ना विकास मंत्री। उनसे निवेदन है इस सभागार को संबोधित करने के लिए।
भगवान राम और भगवान कृष्ण की जन्मभूमि से उत्तर प्रदेश से मैं आप सबका हार्दिक स्वागत और अभिनंदन करता हूं। मंच पर बैठे हुए आदरणीय ए के शर्मा जी, भाई नंद गोपाल नंदी जी, कपिल अग्रवाल जी, भाई संदीप जी, उत्तर प्रदेश के मुख्य सचिव आदरणीय दुर्गा शंकर मिश्रा जी, अरविंद जी, ऋतु माहेश्वरी जी और अन्य सभी सम्मानित साथी, मेरे समक्ष बैठे हुए सभी भारतवर्ष की अर्थव्यवस्था में रीढ़ की हड्डी की तरह काम करने वाले सभी सम्मानित उद्योग बंधु भाई और बहनों, मीडिया के बंधुवर, आदरणीय समीर जी ने, माधव जी ने, हमारे अधिकारियों के अलावा उत्तर प्रदेश के बारे में अपने अनुभव, कानून व्यवस्था के बारे में, इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर के बारे में, लाइट के बारे में, हमारे अधिकारियों के व्यवहार के बारे में, सभी के बारे में आपसे अपने अनुभव शेयर किए हैं। हमारे चीफ सेक्रेटरी साहब ने, अरविंद जी ने, जो भी उत्तर प्रदेश सरकार की ओर से सुविधाएं मिल सकती हैं, जो भी फैसिलिटीज़ हैं, उन सबका आपके सामने वर्णन किया है। मैं 3-4 बातें कहना चाहता हूं। हमारा उत्तर प्रदेश सरकार का कमिटमेंट, जब पूरी दुनिया में साइकिल से लेकर हवाई जहाज तक बंद था और प्रत्येक इंडस्ट्री बंद थी, तब उत्तर प्रदेश की शुगर फैक्ट्री 1 मिनट के लिए भी कभी बंद नहीं हुई। ये हमारे मुख्यमंत्री जी का और हमारे सरकार का कमिटमेंट है। जहां डेडिकेशन की बात है, शायद पहले कभी भी और बाद में कोई आरोप प्रत्यारोप हो सकता है, लेकिन कोविड के दौरान एक व्यक्ति भी ऐसा नहीं था जो अपने घर ना पहुंचा हो और जो भूखा सोया हो। ये हमारा डेडिकेशन है जनता के प्रति। जहां सहयोग की बात है, मैं इतना ही कह सकता हूं, आज भारतवर्ष में सबसे ज़्यादा हमारे एक्सप्रेसवे बन रहे हैं, हमारा जेवर एयरपोर्ट बन रहा है, अन्य एयरपोर्ट बन रहे हैं, अयोध्या का पूरी दुनिया में सबसे अच्छा विकास हो रहा है, लेकिन एक भी जनता के आदमी ने आज तक कोर्ट में कोई मुकदमा नहीं डाला और कहीं विरोध नहीं किया। इतना बड़ा सहयोग जनता का कभी नहीं मिल सकता। जितनी मैं इसलिए आपको ये कहना चाह रहा हूँ, एक जब हम आज MOU साइन कर रहे थे तो हमारे एक डिस्टिलरी के साथी ने कहा था ज़मीन के संबंध में, उत्तर प्रदेश सरकार में आदरणीय मुख्यमंत्री जी का और सरकार का इतना कमिटमेंट है, जनता को इतना यकीन है, एक पूरे 6 साल में आज तक आपके सामने है, कभी किसी इंडस्ट्री में स्ट्राइक नहीं हुई, कभी किसी भी उद्योग के लिए कहीं भी जहाँ ज़मीन एक्वायर की गई, कभी आंदोलन नहीं हुआ, कभी किसी एक्सप्रेसवे की ज़मीन पे आंदोलन नहीं हुआ। छोटी छोटी जहाँ ज़मीनें एक्वायर हो रही हैं वहाँ आपके सामने लाठीचार्ज हो रही हैं, घरों में घुस के आदमियों की पिटाई हो रही हैं। लेकिन उत्तर प्रदेश में पूरे 5.25 साल में कहीं एक व्यक्ति ने भी आंदोलन नहीं किया, एक व्यक्ति ने भी कहीं आपसे कहीं भी कोई विरोध किसी का नहीं हुआ। ये हमारा कमिटमेंट है। मैं इतना ही कह सकता हूँ, आज पूरी दुनिया का लोकप्रिय नेता प्रधानमंत्री आदरणीय नरेंद्र मोदी जी की लोकसभा, पूरे देश का सर्वश्रेष्ठ मुख्यमंत्री आदरणीय योगी जी का उत्तर प्रदेश, उस उत्तर प्रदेश में आप फरवरी में ग्लोबल समिट में पधारें और अपना पूरा योगदान उत्तर प्रदेश के विकास में दें। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद, हार्दिक स्वागत।
बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद माननीय मंत्री जी। और अब मैं आमंत्रित करती हूँ श्री नंद गोपाल गुप्ता, माननीय नंदी जी को, हमारे उद्योग मंत्री।
बंदी कर देता हूं।
आज के इस रोड शो में इस मंच पर उपस्थित बहुत ही वरिष्ठ माननीय मंत्री श्री लक्ष्मी नारायण चौधरी जी, इस मंच पर उपस्थित सम्मानित ऊर्जावान, ऊर्जा और नगर विकास मंत्री श्री ए.के. शर्मा जी, माननीय मंत्री श्री कपिल देव अग्रवाल जी, माननीय मंत्री श्री संदीप सिंह जी, चीफ सेक्रेटरी श्री दुर्गा शंकर मिश्रा जी, एडिशनल चीफ सेक्रेटरी IIDC अरविंद कुमार जी, एडिशनल चीफ सेक्रेटरी कृषि आयुक्त श्री मनोज कुमार सिंह जी, CEO नोएडा और ग्रेटर नोएडा श्रीमती रितु महेश्वरी जी, CEO यमुना अथॉरिटी अरुणवीर सिंह जी, CEO इन्वेस्ट यूपी अभिषेक प्रकाश जी, ACO इन्वेस्ट यूपी प्रथमेश कुमार जी, डायरेक्टर जनरल CII चंद्रित बनर्जी, चेयरमैन एंड MD जैक्सन ग्रुप समीर गुप्ता जी, CEO JK सीमेंट माधव सिंघानिया जी, चेयरमैन डिक्सन टेक्नोलॉजी सुनील बचानी जी, श्री श्रद्धा सूरी मारवा जी, और सामने बैठे उद्योग जगत की सभी जानी मानी हस्तियों का मैं हार्दिक स्वागत और अभिनंदन करता हूं अपनी ओर से, अपनी सरकार की ओर से और सरकार के मुखिया योगी आदित्यनाथ जी की ओर से आपका बहुत बहुत स्वागत और अभिनंदन करता हूं। हम सबका परम सौभाग्य है कि आज हमारे देश की बागडोर एक परम तपस्वी आदरणीय नरेंद्र मोदी जी के हाथों में सुरक्षित है और जिसके लिए हम लोग यहाँ पर बैठे हैं, ग्लोबल इन्वेस्टर समिट जो फरवरी 10, 11, 12 में होनी है और पूरी दुनिया में जिसके लिए उत्साह है, ऐसे प्रदेश के कर्मयोगी मुख्यमंत्री योगी आदित्यनाथ जी के हाथ में इस प्रदेश की बागडोर है, जिनके मन में हमेशा और हमेशा एक बात है कि प्रदेश के अंतिम गांव तक विकास की रोशनी पहुंचे, प्रदेश के अंतिम व्यक्ति तक सरकार की योजनाओं का लाभ पहुंचे और कोई भी गुंडा और अपराधी और माफिया किसी भी इंडस्ट्रीज को, किसी भी बहन बेटी को या किसी भी तरह की अगर कानून को हाथ में लेने की कोशिश करता है तो उसकी जो सजा है उसको भुगतनी पड़ती है। और जो माफिया आपने देखा पिछली सपा बसपा की सरकारों में, लंबे समय तक कांग्रेस की सरकारों में पुलिस के अधिकारियों को निर्देशित करते थे, शासन और प्रशासन चलाने का काम करते थे, आज अपने किए हुए गुनाहों की जेल के अंदर सजा भुगत रहे हैं। कुछ तो प्रदेश से दूर चले गए हैं, कुछ बहुत दूर चले गए हैं जहां से आना असंभव है। जैसे हम लोगों ने अभी इन्वेस्टर समिट का माननीय मुख्यमंत्री जी के निर्देशन में, माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी के मार्गदर्शन में अगर हम कहें तो 2017 से 2022 तक उत्तर प्रदेश उत्तम प्रदेश बना है, अब सर्वोत्तम प्रदेश बनने की ओर अग्रसर है। 2017 से 2022 तक आदरणीय मुख्यमंत्री जी ने सबका साथ, सबका विकास और सबका विश्वास और सबका प्रयास सिर्फ नहीं है नारा, यह है उद्देश्य हमारा, इसको धरातल पर दिखाने का काम किया है। अभी हम लोगों ने माननीय मुख्यमंत्री जी के मार्गदर्शन और दिशा निर्देशन में जो रोड शो दुनिया की 16 कंट्री में किए, 21 सिटी में, 16 कंट्री के साथ 21 सिटी में जो हम लोगों ने रोड शो किए, बहुत ही उत्साहजनक वहाँ से रिजल्ट रहा। बहुत उत्साही रहे लोग और दुनिया की जो मल्टीनेशनल कंपनियां हैं, बड़ी बड़ी कंपनियां, वो उत्तर प्रदेश की ओर आकर्षित हैं। माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी के नेतृत्व में अगर देश में दुनिया में सबसे अच्छा डेस्टिनेशन भारत बनकर के उभरा है इंडस्ट्री लगाने के लिए, निवेश करने के लिए, तो मैं कह सकता हूं भारत में उत्तर प्रदेश सबसे अच्छा डेस्टिनेशन है। नए भारत का नया उत्तर प्रदेश आपकी स्वागत के लिए तैयार है। उत्तर प्रदेश की अर्थव्यवस्था $1 ट्रिलियन की इकोनॉमी बने, इसके लिए माननीय मुख्यमंत्री जी ने केवल सोचा नहीं, ये विजन है माननीय मुख्यमंत्री जी का कि $1 ट्रिलियन की इकोनॉमी उत्तर प्रदेश की बने। तो इसके लिए डिलाइट, KPMG, ऐसी बहुत सारी बड़ी बड़ी संस्थाएं और प्रदेश सरकार के सभी वरिष्ठ अधिकारीगण, सभी वरिष्ठ मंत्रीगण बैठ करके एक प्लानिंग हुई और कैसे इसको हम इंडस्ट्रीज को सहूलियत दे सकते हैं, कैसे सरल बना सकते हैं कानून को, इसके लिए हम सब लोगों ने काम किया। यूपी भारत की तेजी से बढ़ती हुई अर्थव्यवस्था है। आज आप सबको इस बात का गर्व होगा, गौरव होगा कि आज पूरे देश में जितना एक्सप्रेसवे है उसका 37.7% एक्सप्रेसवे अकेले उत्तर प्रदेश में है। 37.7% एक्सप्रेसवे अकेले उत्तर प्रदेश में है। और अभी हम गंगा एक्सप्रेसवे बना रहे हैं। गंगा एक्सप्रेसवे बन जाने के बाद अभी 6 और एक्सप्रेसवे पे जिस तरह से तेजी से काम चल रहा है, बहुत जल्द ही देश का लगभग 50% से ज़्यादा एक्सप्रेसवे अपने उत्तर प्रदेश में होगा। एयरपोर्ट की बात करें, अभी हमसे पहले हमारे तमाम सरकार के सम्मानित अधिकारीगण, माननीय मंत्री जी ने बहुत विस्तार से बातें बताई है। जब हम सरकार में आए थे 2017 में तो केवल 2 एयरपोर्ट संचालित थे और उत्तर प्रदेश से केवल 24 उड़ानें थी। और आज आपको बताते हुए गर्व हो रहा है और उत्तर प्रदेश के लोगों को इस बात का गर्व और गौरव होगा कि आज 2 एयरपोर्ट से 9 एयरपोर्ट उत्तर प्रदेश में संचालित है और 24 से 90 जगह, 24 उड़ानें थी, आज 90 जगह उत्तर प्रदेश उड़ान भर रहा है। बहुत जल्दी 10 और एयरपोर्ट पर जो हम काम कर रहे हैं, 19 एयरपोर्ट, 5 इंटरनेशनल एयरपोर्ट वाला देश का पहला राज्य होने का उत्तर प्रदेश को गौरव प्राप्त होने जा रहा है। जेवर एयरपोर्ट एशिया का सबसे बड़ा एयरपोर्ट बन रहा है। किस तरह से पारदर्शिता से उसकी बिडिंग हुई। ज्यूरिक एयरपोर्ट जैसी कंपनी ने बिडिंग में बढ़ चढ़ करके हिस्सा लिया और उसको काम मिला और तेजी से काम चल रहा है और 2024 में हम लोग उसको ट्रायल रन भी करने की स्थिति में आ जाएंगे। रेल का नेटवर्क इतना बड़ा उत्तर प्रदेश में है लगभग 16,000 किलोमीटर का रेल नेटवर्क, और अभी हल्दिया से वाराणसी तक वाटरवे का हम लोगों का एक, हल्दिया से लेके वाराणसी तक प्रयागराज भी हम लोग काम कर रहे हैं। तो वाटर, रेल, एयर कनेक्टिविटी, एक्सप्रेसवे, ये सब कुछ हम आपको देने जा रहे हैं। आज 1153 किलोमीटर नदियों का, गंगा जमुना जैसी पवित्र नदियां, 1153 किलोमीटर की नदियों का जो हम लोगों को एक उपजाऊ जमीन, जो उसके किनारे किनारे जो जमीन है, उपजाऊ जमीन, उसका आशीर्वाद हमें प्राप्त है। और जो उत्तर प्रदेश का वेदर है, मौसम है, उसमें जाड़ा, गर्मी, बरसात सब कुछ होने की वजह से बहुत ही फर्टाइल लैंड भी है और बहुत ही उपजाऊ जमीन भी हमारे पास है। और आपको बताएं कि वेस्टर्न डेडिकेटेड फ्रेट कॉरिडोर, ईस्टर्न फ्रेट कॉरिडोर, लगभग 57% एरिया उत्तर प्रदेश से होकर के गुजरेगा। मल्टी मॉडल ट्रांसपोर्ट हब विकसित किया जा रहा है। पीएम गति शक्ति से आप अपने घर बैठे कहाँ पर हम इंडस्ट्री लगा सकते हैं, कहाँ पर पानी है, कहाँ पर रेलवे स्टेशन है, ये सारी व्यवस्था पीएम गति शक्ति पर आपको मिल जाएगी। उत्तर प्रदेश देश के 7 राज्यों से जुड़ा हुआ है। देश के 7 राज्यों से जुड़ा हुआ राजस्थान, मध्य प्रदेश, झारखंड, उत्तराखंड, बिहार, दिल्ली और हरियाणा। आज 25 करोड़ की आबादी हमारे उत्तर प्रदेश की है। ये 25 करोड़ की जो आबादी है, 25 करोड़ की आबादी होने के कारण एक सबसे बड़ा खपत का मार्केट है। हम 25 करोड़ आबादी, 75 जिले की बात करते हैं। अगर हम प्रयागराज की बात करें तो प्रयागराज के बगल 40 किलोमीटर, 50 किलोमीटर की दूरी से 3 मध्य प्रदेश के जिले। अगर हम गोरखपुर की बात करें तो नेपाल का बॉर्डर है, वहाँ के नेपाल के लोग भी अपनी मार्केटिंग के लिए, चाहे जनरल मर्चेंट की हो, चाहे फूड ग्रेन की हो, चाहे अपने रोजमर्रा के व्यापार, चाहे स्वास्थ्य सुविधाएं लेनी हो, वो भी यहाँ पर आते हैं। तो इस तरह से जो आसपास जिले हमारे जुड़ रहे हैं, तो करीब 25 जिले और जुड़ रहे हैं, तो 100 जिलों को उत्तर प्रदेश पूर्ति करता है। और 25 करोड़ हमारी आबादी है। अगर हम उन जिलों को भी मिला ले तो लगभग 35 करोड़ की आबादी उत्तर प्रदेश से लाभान्वित होती है। निश्चित रूप से इसलिए उत्तर प्रदेश सबसे अच्छा डेस्टिनेशन बनकर के उभरा है। कोविड के समय में भी अभी आपने आदरणीय मुख्यमंत्री जी को आपने सुना, उनका वीडियो मैसेज सुना। कोविड के समय मैं ये कह सकता हूँ, आज अगर कोविड प्रबंधन की बात करें तो पूरी दुनिया ने आदरणीय प्रधानमंत्री जी को कॉपी किया। हमने सुना था, हमने पढ़ा था, अमेरिका बहुत ही ताकतवर देश है। हमने सुना कि ब्रिटेन का सूर्य अस्त नहीं होता, लेकिन कोविड प्रबंधन माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी का सभी देश के लोगों ने कॉपी किया। और मैं ये भी कह सकता हूं कि उत्तर प्रदेश के मुख्यमंत्री को देश के और मुख्यमंत्री ने कॉपी किया। WHO ने भी कोविड प्रबंधन की प्रशंसा की है। हमने कानून व्यवस्था में जो मिसाल कायम की है, आपने सुना होगा कि कई स्टेट के हाई कोर्ट ने उत्तर प्रदेश की कानून व्यवस्था अच्छी है, इसको कोट किया है। उत्तर प्रदेश की कानून व्यवस्था में कानून को हाथ लेने वाले में अगर किसी IPS अधिकारी का भी इन्वॉल्वमेंट था तो उसके खिलाफ भी FIR लिखी गई और उसके खिलाफ भी जो कानूनी कार्रवाई होती है 82-83 वो भी किया गया। ये माननीय मुख्यमंत्री जी का दृढ़ निश्चय है कि उत्तर प्रदेश में कानून को कोई भी हाथ में लेगा तो उसको उसकी सजा जरूर भुगतनी पड़ेगी। नई इंडस्ट्रियल पॉलिसी में अपने चीफ सेक्रेटरी साहब की पूरी टीम को बधाई देना चाहता हूँ। चीफ सेक्रेटरी साहब के साथ अरविंद कुमार जी और पूरी टीम ने, इंटायर टीम ने जिस तरह से काम किया है, देश के तमाम राज्यों की पॉलिसी को बहुत ही गहन अध्ययन करने के बाद दुनिया में भी बहुत सारे जो सिटीज़ हैं, जो बहुत सारे स्टेट हैं, वहाँ की पॉलिसी को भी अध्ययन करने के बाद कैसे हम आकर्षित पॉलिसी बना सकते हैं, कैसे इसके लिए लोग आकर्षित हों, वो पॉलिसी बना के एक अम्ब्रेला पॉलिसी बना करके 24-25 सेक्टोरियल पॉलिसी बना करके आपके सामने रखने का काम किया है। उसी का नतीजा है, हम विदेश गए तो 7,12,000 करोड़ रुपए का निवेश प्राप्त हुआ। और यहाँ पर भी बहुत उत्साह से, मैं कल की बात करूँ, परसों 11 तारीख को आदरणीय मुख्यमंत्री जी के यहाँ पर निवेश का रोड शो हुआ, रोड शो के बाद उनके आवास पर हाई टी का प्रोग्राम रखा था। मैं कह सकता हूं आज इतने लोगों ने यहाँ पर जो बातें रखी, चाहे जैक्सन ग्रुप के समीर गुप्ता जी हों, चाहे जेके सीमेंट के माधव सिंघानिया जी हों, चाहे डिक्सन ग्रुप से सुनील बचानी जी हों, चाहे एनटीपीसी की बिजनेस हेड मैडम ने अपने एक्सपीरियंस को यहाँ रखा, चाहे सतीश कुमार भल्ला जी हों, चाहे एवी मोरी से हों, चाहे एवी मोरी से सतीश कुमार जी हों, महेश गुप्ता कैंटारो से, हल्दीराम से मनोहर अग्रवाल जी, डीएस ग्रुप से, सतपाल ग्रुप से, ये सारे लोग, अभी मुंबई में दर्शन हीरा नंदानी जी, ये ऐसे लोग जो इतने लोगों ने यहाँ पर अपना एक्सपीरियंस शेयर किया है या बोला है, चाहे यूपी सीडा के बारे में, चाहे उत्तर प्रदेश के बारे में। इन लोगों को कोई गन पॉइंट पे बुलवा सकता है क्या? कोई पैसे दे के बुलवा सकता है क्या? और इस हाल में जितने लोग बैठे हैं सब अपनी अपनी फील्ड में महारत हासिल कर, सब ने अपनी अपनी फील्ड में महारत हासिल कर रखा है। जो जिस इंडस्ट्री से भी है उसने अपनी अपनी इंडस्ट्री को ऊंचाइयों तक ले गए हैं और ऊंचाइयों तक ले गए हैं। और इंडस्ट्री पॉलिसी पढ़ करके अगर निवेश करना चाहते हैं और अपना समय यहाँ पर दे रहे हैं तो निश्चित रूप से जो बीता है, जो महसूस किया है, कल भी हमसे सारे ऑफिसर मिले थे और कंपनी के एवी मूरी के और तमाम लोग हमसे मिले, और आज भी वो मोलाइसिस की आपने बात करी थी, मैं ब्रेकफास्ट में ही माननीय मंत्री जी से मैंने चर्चा करी, उन्होंने कहा नहीं जी हमारे पास सरप्लस है, हम देंगे। मैं इसलिए ये बात कह रहा हूं कि जो हमारे माननीय मुख्यमंत्री जी, माननीय प्रधानमंत्री, जो विजन है ये ऐसे ही नहीं बदला। उत्तर प्रदेश में सपा बसपा कांग्रेस की सरकार थी तो उनका एक विजन था कैसे तिजोरी भरे और कैसे वोट बैंक बढ़े। यहां केवल और केवल एक एजेंडा है, देश के 130 करोड़ लोग कैसे सुखी हों और प्रदेश के 25 करोड़ लोग कैसे सुखी हों, और कैसे हमारे इंडस्ट्रीज, जो हम इंडस्ट्रीज को ला रहे हैं, इंडस्ट्री को ला रहे हैं, उनका निवेश 100% सुरक्षित रहे, उनका निवेश भी सुरक्षित रहे, वो भी सुरक्षित और संरक्षित रहे। इसके लिए ये कानून व्यवस्था का काम माननीय मुख्यमंत्री जी ने किया है। मैं आप सबको GIS 2023 के लिए आमंत्रित कर रहा हूं। आप सब लोग आएं, नए भारत का नया उत्तर प्रदेश बाहें फैलाकर आपके स्वागत के लिए आतुर है, आपके स्वागत के लिए खड़ा है। मेड इन इंडिया के साथ मेड इन यूपी में आप मेड इन यूपी भी लिखें। मैं आपसे यही अपील करता हूं। पुनः आप सबका बहुत बहुत स्वागत करते हुए मैं ये भी बताना चाहता हूं, अभी 4,68,000 करोड़ रुपए के MOU हुए थे, जो हमारी पहली इन्वेस्टर समिट थी। 4,68,000 करोड़ रुपए के MOU होना, और अभी प्रधानमंत्री जी ने 3 जून 2022 को 80,224 करोड़ रुपए की ग्राउंड ब्रेकिंग सेरेमनी करी। उसके पहले आदरणीय अमित शाह जी ने करी। उसके पहले माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी ने जो ग्राउंड ब्रेकिंग सेरेमनी है, लगभग 4 लाख करोड़ रुपए का इन्वेस्टमेंट धरातल पर उतारना, ये इस बात को दर्शाता है कि हमने इन्वेस्टर का भरोसा जीता है, इन्वेस्टर का विश्वास जीता है। मैं आप सबको इस बात का भरोसा और विश्वास दिलाता हूं कि हमारी पूरी टीम आपके साथ कंधे से कंधा मिला करके चलेगी, और आप एक कदम आगे चलेंगे, हमारी टीम आपको हाथ पकड़ करके 4 कदम आगे बढ़ाएगी। आपको फाइल ढोने की जरूरत नहीं है। इसीलिए माननीय मुख्यमंत्री जी निवेश पोर्टल, निवेश मित्र और निवेश सारथी, जो ये सारा कुछ हम लोगों ने ऑनलाइन किया है, आपको दौड़ने की जरूरत नहीं है। आपके साथ एक एक नोडल ऑफिसर भी लगाने के लिए माननीय मुख्यमंत्री जी ने कहा। तो माननीय मुख्यमंत्री जी जब भी कैबिनेट में बैठते हैं, कैबिनेट में हम लोगों के साथ चर्चा होती है, आज कुछ हमारे साथ अरविंद जी और सभी सीनियर ऑफिसर बैठे थे, एक बांगुर सीमेंट के लोगों ने एक बात उठाई, उसको भी नोट डाउन किया गया, और वहीं पर आदरणीय चीफ सेक्रेटरी सभी लोगों ने कहा कि जो जो समस्या हमको ग्लोबल इन्वेस्टर समिट में, चाहे विदेश में मिली हो, चाहे देश के रोड शो में मिली हो, इस सब को नोट करके 27 तारीख को हमारे रोड शो खत्म हो रहे हैं, तो 28 को हम माननीय मुख्यमंत्री जी के यहाँ मीटिंग करके इसको भी सॉल्व करेंगे, ताकि हर किसी को हर सुविधाएं मिल सके और उनको किसी तरह की कोई प्रॉब्लम ना आए। मैं आपको बताता हूँ, मुझे गर्व हो रहा है, 1800 करोड़ से ज्यादा रुपए हम इंसेंटिव बांट चुके हैं। अभी तक 1800 करोड़ रुपए से ज्यादा इंसेंटिव बांट चुके हैं, और उनको बुला करके फंक्शन करके बांट रहे हैं, कोई चुपचाप नहीं, उनको बुला करके फंक्शन करके 1800 करोड़ रुपए से ज्यादा के इंसेंटिव हम लोगों को दे चुके हैं। तो निश्चित रूप से जो हमारी इंडस्ट्रियल पॉलिसी है, हमारे सभी ऑफिसर ने बहुत मेहनत करके बनाई है। मैं आपका बहुत बहुत स्वागत करता हूं, बहुत बहुत अभिनंदन करता हूं। उत्तर प्रदेश, नए भारत का नया उत्तर प्रदेश आपके लिए तत्पर है, और माननीय मुख्यमंत्री जी की जो इच्छा है, माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी के मार्गदर्शन में, माननीय मुख्यमंत्री जी के नेतृत्व में उत्तर प्रदेश उत्तम प्रदेश बना है। सर्वोत्तम प्रदेश बनाने के लिए हमने काम किया है, हम सबको मिलकर के काम करने की जरूरत है। धन्यवाद। जय हिंद, जय भारत। हमने अपनी सांस्कृतिक धरोहर के साथ, अभी आदरणीय मंत्री जी मथुरा से हैं, उन्होंने कहा कि भगवान राम की भूमि है, भगवान कृष्ण की भूमि है, तो रघुकुल रीति जहाँ के हैं राम रमैया, जिस धरती पे जन्मे किशन कन्हैया, देश ही नहीं सकल विश्व में सबसे विशेष है ये अपना उत्तर प्रदेश है, ये अपना उत्तर प्रदेश है। धन्यवाद। जय हिंद।
बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद माननीय मंत्री जी, आपके उत्साहवर्धक और आश्वस्त करने वाले संदेश के लिए। और अब मैं पुनः आमंत्रित करती हूँ श्री ए.के. शर्मा जी को, हमारे माननीय शहरी विकास एवं ऊर्जा मंत्री, उनके इस बार विशेष संबोधन के लिए।
एक बात तो मैं आप लोगों को बता दूं कि अब मेरे बाद अब कोई स्पीकर नहीं है, भाषण नहीं है, तो इसलिए अब लंच में और आपके बीच में बहुत ज़्यादा समय नहीं है। मैं कुछ ही बातें, क्योंकि ज़्यादातर बातें आपको कही जा चुकी हैं, फैक्ट्स, फिगर्स, पोटेंशियल्स जो यूपी के हैं, देश के हैं, वो सब कुछ आप जानते भी हैं, और जो कुछ नई बातें थी वो आपको बता भी दी गई। मैं यहाँ 2-3 पहलू आपके समक्ष रखना चाहूँगा। भारतवर्ष का वर्ल्ड बैंक जो ईज ऑफ डूइंग बिजनेस की रैंकिंग करता है पूरे दुनिया के सभी देशों की, 195-96 जो देश हैं, 2014 के पहले आप में से किसी को मालूम है क्या रैंक थी ईज ऑफ डूइंग बिजनेस में इंडिया की? 195 में भारत की रैंक थी 142। इतना नीचे थे हम। माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी श्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी के आने के बाद हम सब उस काम में लगे। माननीय अमिताभ कांत जी उस समय सेक्रेटरी थे विभाग के, और इस 8 साल के प्रयासों में, मित्रों, प्रयासों के बाद आज हमारी रैंक 142 से 63 पर हम आ चुके हैं। 8 साल में जो काम 80 साल में नहीं हुआ था वो 8 साल में हुआ। और वर्ल्ड बैंक की रैंकिंग कई मापदंडों पे होती है, कहीं लॉजिस्टिक्स पे, तो कहीं कोर्ट मैटर की लिटिगेशन पे, अन्य तमाम हैं। उसमें हर बार अलग अलग इम्प्रूवमेंट हुआ। लेकिन एक बात में जिसमें हर साल, मैंने 6 साल तो खुद देखा है, 2 साल से मैं दूसरे काम में लग गया हूँ, लेकिन 6 साल में लगातार जो एक वर्ल्ड में पूरे नंबर 1 पर इंडिया रहता रहा, वो था, एक उनकी कैटेगरी होती है मोस्ट इम्प्रूव्ड नेशन। मोस्ट इम्प्रूव्ड नेशन में इंडिया लगातार 5-6 साल हमेशा जो है उसमें पहली रैंक लेकर के आता था। उसी प्रकार जो मैं आज शार्ट में कहना चाह रहा हूं मित्रों, जो बात माननीय अमिताभ कांत जी ने कही कि चाहे वो हेल्थ सेक्टर हो, चाहे एजुकेशन सेक्टर हो, चाहे इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर हो, और उस बात की सर्टिफिकेशन हमारे इंडस्ट्री के रिप्रेजेंटेटिव्स ने दी, हमारे अधिकारियों ने अपने प्रेजेंटेशन में दिया। उस हिसाब से मैं एक बात आपको जरूर तसल्ली दिलाना चाहूँगा कि जिस प्रकार भारत दुनिया में मोस्ट इम्प्रूव्ड नेशन हुआ है, उसी प्रकार यूपी इंडिया में मोस्ट इम्प्रूव्ड स्टेट है। पिछले 8 सालों में, पिछले 7 सालों में विशेष रूप से माननीय योगी जी जब से मुख्यमंत्री बने हैं, तब से भारतीय जनता पार्टी की जो सरकार चल रही है, हर क्षेत्र में विकास, हर क्षेत्र में सुधार, चाहे वो लॉ एंड ऑर्डर हो, चाहे इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर हो, डिटेल में मैं नहीं जा रहा हूँ। दूसरी बात मित्रों मैं कहना चाहूँगा कि
एक चीज जोड़ना चाहता हूँ, जो आपने 142 to 63 की जर्नी की, उसमें सर मैं अर्बन सेक्रेटरी हुआ।
हाँ, उसमें माननीय
अर्बन सेक्रेटरी के रूप में
जी आपका बहुत
हिंदुस्तान
बड़ा रोल
का
है।
स्थान 186 था, 190 देशों में 186 पे थे, और आप गेस करेंगे कि हम कहाँ पहुंच गए? 27।
कुछ जैसा मैंने कहा कि कुछ
159 प्लेसेस जंप किया अर्बन सेक्टर में, 159 पे दुनिया में कहीं नहीं हुआ इस प्रकार का जंप हुआ ये हमारा उत्तर प्रदेश
तो
करने
ये
जा
जो
रहा है।
सुधार की गति है मित्रों, जो सुधार की गति है इतनी तीव्र भारत में और उतनी ही तीव्र उत्तर प्रदेश में जो बात कही गई कि अगर कोई मैचिंग स्टेट है भारत की सुधार की गति के साथ तो वो है उत्तर प्रदेश। दूसरी बात मैं कहना चाहूँगा कि एक्सपोर्ट ओरिएंटेड जो यूनिट्स होती हैं खास करके, और या जनरली किसी भी उद्योग में लेबर मार्केट का बड़ा महत्वपूर्ण होता है। माननीय हमारे एमओएस साहब बैठे हैं जो स्किल डेवलपमेंट का भी काम देखते हैं, तो लेबर और स्किल बड़ा इम्पॉर्टेंट चीज़ है। उत्तर प्रदेश जो है एक पूरा यंग स्टेट है, यूथ का स्टेट है। यहाँ के लोग मेहनती हैं, यहाँ के लोग हुनर सीखना चाहते हैं, यहाँ के लोग काम करना चाहते हैं, और सबसे बड़ी बात कि यहाँ के लोग जुगाड़ करना जानते हैं, जुगाड़ टेक्नोलॉजी जानते हैं। आपकी मशीनों में जो चीज़ सैकड़ों करोड़ों की महंगी पड़ती होगी, उसको वो मिनट में अपने बुद्धि और अपने कौशल से, अपने मेहनत से जो है आपकी बड़ी बड़ी डिफेक्ट को, बड़ी बड़ी उसको जो है वो चुटकी बजा करके वो सॉल्व करने के उनके अंदर हुनर है। तीसरी बात मित्रों मैं कहना चाहूँगा कि जापान और जर्मनी क्यों जाने जाते हैं? इसलिए नहीं जाने जाते हैं कि उनके पास बड़ी मल्टीनेशनल कंपनी, वो तो है ही, सुजुकी है और इस तरह की जो बड़ी कंपनियां, जो विश्वविख्यात कंपनियां हैं, लेकिन मित्रों उनका जो इंडस्ट्रियल बेस है वो उनका एमएसएमई है। उत्तर प्रदेश पूरे देश का लगभग एक तृतीयांश जो एमएसएमईज हैं वो उत्तर प्रदेश में है, और कुछ तो हमारी इतनी अच्छी हैं कि जहाँ से हमारे माननीय मंत्रीगण आते हैं वहाँ की कई ऐसी प्रोडक्ट्स हैं कि चाहे फिरोजाबाद का कांच का हो, चाहे अलीगढ़ का ताला हो, मुरादाबाद का पीतल का काम हो, बनारस का सिल्क और जरी का काम हो, विश्वविख्यात है। हमारी एमएसएमई कितनी कठिन परिस्थितियों में, जिनमें जो कहा गया कि गवर्नेंस डेफिसिट थी, 40 साल 50 साल 60 साल किसी न किसी ने ध्यान नहीं दिया, फिर भी वो विश्व बाजार में जो है अपना डंका बजाए हुए हैं, अपना झंडा ऊंचा किए हुए। तो ये हमारी मित्रों स्ट्रेंथ है। आप सबको मैं एक बार फिर, हमारे माननीय मुख्यमंत्री जी ने, हमारे मंत्रीगण ने, हमारे अधिकारीगण ने आपको ग्लोबल इन्वेस्टर समिट का न्योता दिया है। मैं भी अपनी तरफ से आपको वो न्योता दोहराता हूँ, आप जरूर उत्तर प्रदेश आइए। बाकी चीज़ें अगर किसी को कुछ और जानना बात करना होगा तो हम लोग अभी भी 1-1.5 घंटे यहीं उपलब्ध हैं भोजन के साथ, या कुछ लोगों से अलग मीटिंगें भी हैं, उनके साथ हम बात करेंगे। इन शॉर्ट, आई विल अगेन रीइटरेट कि इफ़ यू केयर फॉर योरसेल्फ you should be in UP. If you care for your next generation also, you must be in UP. तो ये हमारा ये है, if you care for wealth, you should be in UP. If you care for well-being also, you must be in UP. Welcome to UP. धन्यवाद। आप सब लोग, मैं देख रहा हूँ कि सुबह से लेकर के जिस प्रकार हम लोग बैठे रहे, इस हाल में से एक भी व्यक्ति उठ करके गया नहीं है। ये दिखाता है कि आप लोगों का कितना इंटरेस्ट यूपी में है, और आप सबको मैं हृदय से अपनी पूरी टीम की ओर से, पूरे मंत्रिमंडल की ओर से, माननीय मुख्यमंत्री जी की ओर से और देश के मुखिया माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी की ओर से भी आप सबको बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद करता हूँ। धन्यवाद।
Thank you, Honorable Minister, sir. So, ladies and gentlemen, you've heard and seen the speed, the scale of growth and the change in Uttar Pradesh and the strength of Uttar Pradesh. We're sure it is going to be helping you take more informed decisions regarding your investments. Thank you to all of you for your participation, and now inviting you to please join us for lunch.